Wonderful Life, still a classic.
Movie's so
Which
good.
one's on The Wonderful Life?
It's super old. Like,
Future goes, past goes.
no,
No, it's
that's
Christmas
a Christmas
Carol.
Yeah.
I don't think I've seen that movie. Then
It's a good movie.
I want to cry. I'll watch it.
There you go. You want the feels? Check
It's
out
a
The Wonderful
good-ass
Life.
movie.
I want to feel what I felt in Sonic 3.
All I know is
Let's see if it's just as good as Sonic the Hedgehog.
Side by
3.
side.
If only Jimmy Stewart had to go fast. If only. He ran fast in that snow.
Him on that street, but going really fast.
What's up, people, and Happy New Year. Welcome to our little traveling podcast shack we call Otaku, where we serve the hottest takes in anime and video games. Today, we have our special 2024 edition episode of the podcast, where we'll be talking about our top 5 favorite games of 2024, just in time for the new year, looking back and reflecting on all the things that we first got our hands onto this year and lasts on our minds, and want to make sure we give a shout out here on the podcast. So that's what we're going to do in the next hour or so, depending on how long this episode goes. I'm your host, Ray, aka Sourdough Shonen, and joining me today is our usual panel of video game experts. To my right, we have Frank. Hello, Frank. How you doing?
Expert news.
You're an expert, Frank. You bought an iPad Pro just to keep gaming, did you not, Frank?
That is true.
That's an expert gamer right there, if you ask me.
Or a dumb person.
Well, video games make you do silly things, but it's that passion that drives us and makes us get together and do a podcast every week or every other week, Frank. So it's good. It's good to have you on the panel, Frank. We need you. And of course, we need our his partner in crime, my brother Miles, who also can't stop playing the gacha games. Hello, Miles.
can't stop spinning. Got to keep pulling.
And
if you're thinking about pulling, you got to pull.
Waifu game.
yeah, I'm gonna say, any
It's
new
not a
waifus? What is it?
It's a gacha game. It happens to have.
It might have some cute
Well,
girls in
because
it,
of
maybe tall redheads for
There
Frank.
are male characters, so it's not. It's not. It's
Are
not,
they male? I don't know.
You don't know. If you don't, have we seen what's? I don't know.
All I know, the internet's a scary place. I'm just don't look up certain things when you know what you're gonna get. Let's just leave it at that.
That is the awful, bloody truth. And of course, our last panelist, we have Andy. Andy, welcome back to the podcast.
Thank you so much. I am so happy to be back, honestly. I very much regret not having been on the spoiler cast of Wisdom, but you'll hear about it from me today.
There you go.
I'll keep up on
People have been waiting since September to hear Andy's thoughts, and now we're finally going to get him here,
whether you like it or not.
just in time for the new year. So look forward to all that. And of course, our favorite things, and of course, just everything else we've been catching up during our little holiday break we find ourselves in. Hopefully, you also find yourself by the time the podcast enjoying. So once again, happy holidays and happy new year to you. And without further ado, let's jump in and talk about what we usually do here on the podcast and talk about what I've been watching and playing. Thus, our little conversation here we do every week, every other week. I'm so used to saying weekly. Ugh, we can't do a weekly podcast.
I swear, it's by week. I swear.
I swear. It's every other Wednesday. Check your local listing. It's true. Let's go with Miles. Let's go across to you. Let's be different.
So just get the Bendy. Just get it done right now. Huh?
Let's see what you've been watching and playing recently, brother.
Let's see. I guess a slight update because I've been watching. I guess Digimon. I guess.
Oh.
Which one?
Yeah.
I'm watching 2 right now.
Oh no.
So of course I've been watching the Digimon Adventure ... re, whatever you want to call it, the remake of one. That was from 2020. It's okay, but there's a lot more I guess Angus. That's like that's the pair. But
Angus, like steak?
Or I don't know.
Angst?
You know what we call it, like
$6 burger?
Mm.
I don't know.
Can I get grilled onions on that, or?
Well, those has to be like, for every moment you're like, oh, this is a kid show, right? And I was like, oh no, the satellite's gonna collapse together, and then the National Space Station, that thing everyone remembers, right? It's gonna collapse and go down and blow up the whole universe. We have to stop the Digimon from breaking up the digital.
Isn't that
wall.
Sonic 3?
Yeah. And I said it is funny because I argue at this point now this is pretty much kind of like Dragon Ball Super.
Oh no!
Which the animation is going down. Except if that's your name is Matt or Ty, you got all the good animation. You get everything. You get 100%. A plus up. Everyone else, he didn't. He just literally. I kid you not. I Digivolve 2 flashes. Took something from the camera. Comes back. This form. It was like, and that's it. Well, they're like, there's a whole 5 minutes minute sequence
Transformation.
Transformation of Agumon and Garurumon is like, okay, we did it. Like, oh, we know who the fan favorites are, I guess. So yeah,
That sucks.
yeah, it's fine, but it's kind of I feel like
No, it's
But-
not
but-
fine. This
It's
cannot
not
keep
okay.
happening.
but we could do
It must
better.
be stopped.
Well, because I know the first one is just like okay, I'm not expecting because it's also the same plot beats over like, oh here's TK and then and the Angel Mon of the light hope.
He becomes an angel.
or according to this one a god. That's what they call it, the Digimon god, I guess.
Why not?
And of course now we're Kairi and her and then her situation. I literally, I kid you not, Ray. I remember you told me about. I think it was like I want to say it was the last Naruto movie. I think where you told me pretty much like someone came in, took Hinata away, and kind of just like Naruto's like watching that same moment.
Oh.
It wasn't here. Like, cause someone took.
Should I stop them from kidnapping my girl? Nah, I'll just let it do it for drama's sake.
So I kid you not, like, cause the evil Digimon takes Kairi. They're flying away, and has just like the staring, and it's like. No, it's just gonna that has to happen. No, the plot says it has to happen. So that's.
Oh, so it's like an actual like remake of like the original series, like the first one?
because it has the original designs. It is, for better. It is kind of neat seeing like with more HD and of course at 16:9.
Mm-hmm.
But the plot, for every moment you get of like oh look at that nostalgia, nostalgia.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like it's always like, oh, the world has they always cut to like the world's in crisis, the ecosystem collapsing, the like some like dark but this is a kid show, but some dark thing has happened in the real world before they go back to the Digimon. So it really kind of throws you off because it's like this is a kid show. It's a struggle for me to watch.
Oh.
But I don't know, like Ray says, you gotta finish what you start. You gotta finish your.
I mean, I do that because I'm a review anime on YouTube. I don't know why you're doing it, Miles. You don't have to suffer like me. Be smarter.
I started the piece. I gotta finish the piece. You got to finish the piece.
Understandable.
And then the other one's actually a little nicer. I think technically will be season 7, which will be Appmon. Yeah, Appmon.
Oh, are we talking about a different show now?
Yeah, a different show.
But still Digimon.
Still Digimon.
But the old Digimon.
Oh.
Yeah, but this is more kids. This is more of the kids. Like your traditional. Oh, here goes the panel away. So it's a rinse for use for formula and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
But the interesting thing about this one is that for one, Digimon they're not really Digimon per se. They're what they call Appmon, which is monsters that are made from apps on your phone.
Oh my gosh.
Oh.
Apps.
I'm-
Appmon using
Yeah.
APP.
Yeah.
Oh.
Mm.
So
Holy shit.
Me no likey.
So there's of course there's a music app. So there's
Oh my
music
gosh.
There's a guy who search. So there's no
They've
guy.
Do you have to pay him like $20 a month to keep hanging out with you, or what?
No,
They've gone too far.
But
my god.
the most fascinating is because Toei decided, and I think because they got really good with their 3D tech, that half the Digimon in the show is all 3D.
But the show isn't.
Yeah, the show most like the main characters are normal 2D animation, but like all like the super level forms of Digimon and the evil Digimon are all 3D.
Oh, that's weird. So it's like CG with the 2D stuff?
Yeah,
Was it like
Oh.
Ghost in the Shell or what?
it's a little bit nice. Well, it's not that bad because that was a little drinking back then. Toei's been a lot better even like since the Broly movie, right? They got
That's
a little better
true.
with like CG stuff. So it's not jarring. It's interesting that after like your basic Digimon forms when they go or Appmon forms when they go to like their super and ultimate levels, all of a sudden now they're all 3D. But it's more fun. It's funner than the other one at least.
Yeah.
It's more like a kid show like it's supposed to be.
When did this show originally come out?
That one came out in 2022.
Oh, so
Oh.
it's really pretty. Or 2 years
Because
old.
technically,
I guess 3 years old now. Whoa.
in the Digimon series, I'm technically
Yeah.
behind by 2. So like this is 7, and then there's 8, which is supposed to be the better of all, like the best one
In a while.
in a while, which is
Mm.
Ghost Game. But you got to finish. It's like you can't start at 8. You had to go back and start 7. 6 was kind of The 6 was a lot of fusion Digimon. That gets tiresome because it's like fuse together. And the other thing I've been trying to do today is trying to catch up. Of course, trying to catch my gotcha games. And everybody share. So
Yeah.
most of me
Got
try.
'em.
So most of me try to right now try to get through Zenless Zone Zero.
I might try that one.
That one. So because and that one I'm not baptized as Star Rail because Star Rail. I'm at the point acting like with Genshin, like I don't know how the how to get back to that one because it's a lot of work to get there. So that's not enough to make it for this podcast. I was able to finish. I finished technically chapter 4 today. No, because I played later this morning. And overall, I think I understand the difference now between all 3 of them now at this point. I could give you a clear thing. If you like more character stuff, like you're a fan of characters, right, Ray?
That's me, I guess.
ZZ is more a game for you because the characters are more developed and more kind of like they have their own. There are more intonations and more personality per se. Because like other games have like your random Joe character. As you play as that guy.
Mm-hmm.
But here you're just having to play as one of the 2 protagonists, but they're their own characters. They're you're not doing anything yourself per se. They have their own voice lines. They have their own story, and they're able to be they're more interact with each other because they're brother and sister. So because usually the other games you choose one or the other. Then
and they're not a real character.
They're not. Really
I think you mentioned this before.
And you kind of it makes you want to pull for the characters that are in that set because they work better together than they work by themselves per se. But overall, the game they came into a lot of things this year because it came out this year. But we're right now at 1.4 and like half the original game's gone now. Because it used to be a lot like more puzzles and more things they used to start the game with. They took that out, and now it's most of the time is action where you're shooting, you're fighting, you're doing combos, sick flips, things like that. And then you happen to do a puzzle here and there, but most of the original game is gone now. At this point, it's mostly just action more. And and the fact that it's more of an urban setting kind of helps distinguish a little bit better than the other ones because one's just basically Space Odyssey, which is pretty much a fantasy base, but this is like its own urban, new, unique setting that helps it distinguish from the other 2, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, they got pretty much because I'm 2 patches now, so now it's 1.4, and now it's pretty much. As I think I dubbed it as the Avengers event, all the groups come together and we're trying to, beat one big bad guy, I guess. But it's like like everyone's here, everyone's all working together now. So it's a big moment for I guess the game because I think it's gonna be calmed down to like 2.0, which won't play until maybe summer next year, because it's usually like a year.
So this is when the movies are gonna go downhill and no one's gonna have interest in them, and then wait for Deadpool to save them all.
Yeah, that's when it gets real good then, I guess. Yeah, and also like the new character right now, Miyabi, she's kind of she's a ice sword user. She's one of the super characters, I guess, because like this lore wise, like there's only 7 of them. She's one of the 7. The match of 7. So it's like, oh, you got to pull for it now because look, it's number 7. No, one of the 7.
Limited time only.
Yeah, you got to get it now, and I need to get her now because I have no ice units to start. So. But we're working towards that. I still have my guarantee. I pulled enough that I got a guarantee because that's how this game works.
Nothing in these games are guaranteed if you ask me, but all right.
Yeah, but so we're going to keep on trucking on. And I guess that will conclude my week.
Well, welcome to Gotcha Anonymous 101. Once again,
I'll play it. It's fine. You got me.
Miles. What about influence you are?
You had me a cool swordsman.
That's a side note. If you start now, you get more pulls when you start the game started. Just let you know.
Use the code Miles down below, and 10% goes back, kicks him, and he gets his more waifus.
Yeah, I get more polychromes if you subscribe right now.
The choice we make, brother. All right, well then we'll pass the baton over to. Let's go to Andy over here and see what he's been up to since he's been absent on the podcast.
Yeah.
We got to catch up.
Yeah, well, I did mention pretty much off the bat Zelda Echoes of Wisdom. So yeah, I guess I'll go into that. Yeah, I listened to you guys. I mean, I was when it came out, so I don't remember all the details of what you felt, but I guess generally it seemed like you guys were more or less kind of collectively lukewarm. I think
we
in
could
general
say that,
is like a fair way to summarize.
What a dirty word.
Says the guy who's probably the most negative about the game.
Well, you never did typical Frank review. This game sucks. I can't do this or that. I'll be putting more of this later on. I'll let you know.
Let you know about the update.
Yeah, I mean, because I agree with like basically everything you guys are saying. I think for me, a lot of it was like, there was so many things that I was like, I'm gonna mention this. Then when I went up, but I didn't go on. Like right away, I was like, you're mentioning it. You mentioned it. You mentioned it. Like one of the things you mentioned was like the whole like, what's the horse for? Like, who cares about this stupid horse? Like I was kind of like, I was like, oh, cool. Like I remember like, when I think of that part of a Zelda game, the Epona's farm or whatever. I don't know what it's called. The farm. when I think of how it is in Ocarina of Time and how significant it is to the part of the story and like how it kind of weaves into it, and it's like you can't. It's still like a early kind of option. I don't know if it was. I don't remember if it's necessarily optional, but I remember. I think it is. I don't remember.
There's a little bit of flexibility.
Yeah,
I remember.
it was flexibility. I think is.
In Majora's Mask, you had to get the horse because that's when you get over.
Yeah. So that's another good example of that, because I feel like I was just like, oh yeah, I can't wait to do whatever's there, and I'm just like, what is this? I'm playing a stupid little like lazy ass like running mini game. I'm just like, oh, jumping over things. Like, what is? It's
riveting gameplay.
It's like I was able to like kind of get it done. You know, like I mean, I messed up a couple times, but at the end of it, I was just like, whatever. And then I never use it, and it's like, oh my gosh. And then there's so many things, and you only use 6 things. And I never talked to Dampé ever.
Never did.
Who's Dampé?
The guy with the gadgets.
If you're not joking, it's the.
He was the only one who I think you messed with the mechanic.
I never learned his name.
Yeah. So Dampé,
Gadget Man.
Yeah, that one was like I tried to do one of his early ones, and I kind of got confused, and I was like, I didn't know what monster he was looking for, and I was just like, I kind of just gave up. I was like, I don't care. Like, I was like, I'm already at the final boss. Like, I'm only doing this because I know it's here, not because I need it for anything.
Right, not because I want to or
I'm
need it.
just about to beat the game, so let me do all the things. And I'm like, oh, I don't care. And then, I mean, the best side thing I felt in that game was the boat. I don't know if you guys did the boat quest where it's like there's like a electricity in the boat. It's like there's like a shocking little like.
Oh yeah, I did that one.
There's like a boat quest, side quest.
Yeah, but
maybe I didn't.
But that was by accident.
Yeah. But that one, it was just like one of the ones where you talk to somebody and they say, oh, the boat in the ocean. There's a secret about it, and you go check it out. And it was just like a boss. But it was fun. It was kind of like a fun excursion, but I wouldn't even say like go play it just to go to that, because like at the end of the day, all you really get from any sort of like like if you go out of your way for something, I say like 8 out of 10 times you're just getting like 5 grapes or something.
Yeah.
I'm just like 5 fucking grapes. Give me a blue crystal. Like
something.
I mean, you do get those, but I feel
new
like
armor or something.
Yeah, something interesting.
Right.
And then but there were certain things I just didn't like really. Did any of you use the music box from the farm?
I used that. I used it because I got far enough in the Dampé side quest that it's useful. Oh. Because it's something you need. You need that.
I hate that.
You need that along with a monster to get like a certain automation. But like,
oh my god.
But you already copied the creature race, so it kind of defeats the purpose.
A music box? I don't remember.
Yeah, it's in the farm. If you go in the farm and talk to the lady, there's like you probably. Oh, you have to help her with the cats. She's like, help me find my cat.
Right.
And she has you talk to a cat, I think, and then you go back to her. I think that's what.
I think that's what I remember.
Because you need a cat costume, and you talk to the cat.
Yeah.
And what you get.
And then you talk to the woman in the farm, and then you get a music box, and then it goes to the Dampé thing, which I would have never seen because I gave up on the Dampé.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I never knew either, because I said hello to Dampé, and then I said never see you again. Bye.
Yeah.
Never went back.
The problem with that game, like we said before, the problem is there's so many ideas they throw in here, but none of them get used creatively by the time you get to the final boss. Like, I don't need any. Half the things you get, you don't need it because you're too busy.
Or you get like the best thing you find. Like at the end of the game, there's like really strong ones. It's like, I'm just using this guy.
Right.
I use it like over and over on the final boss. Like one of the last, I forget the lizard's names.
To the white iron knuckle level 4.
Oh yeah, see that's one. I remember you guys mentioning that. Like that one you just like resort to. But I feel like it's kind of like, and I feel like this is one of those games where like it only like its gameplay mechanics they only truly shine at the end of the game because you're really taking advantage of it, right? Like you're really having to focus, because otherwise the game's really easy. Like it's an easy game.
Yeah.
Like I changed it to the hero mode. I don't know if you ever did that. I know we talked about that.
I did it after I beat the game.
You did it after you beat the game. I mean,
but then I'm like,
I'm good.
Yeah, exactly. I just used that guy for the final boss. And it was like that was like the most interesting thing about it. But then at the same time, they get rid of your link ability, which you're learning through the whole game.
You've been using this whole time.
So it's like you're not giving me everything I worked with. It's like, what is the point of that? Like giving me it through the game and then
I spent all these hours collecting those blue little crystals, and now it's worthless. Thanks, Link.
Yeah, I mean, I like that the part when you guys split up is interesting. It's I don't know.
Some portal shit or something.
Yeah,
That's the way I described it.
It seemed very. I mean, I guess I like how they still try to like really work him into the game. It's not like he just was like, all right, I'm back. Bye. I'm gonna go over there, and you won't see me fight. But in this, you're like, oh, he's actually doing stuff, but it doesn't really.
They
matter.
didn't cook it all the way.
No, exactly, no.
But that still probably was a highlight of the game because it felt like, okay, so you're not like Link's there, you're not Link anymore. So now you had to be more creative and try to actually do puzzle. You're doing puzzles.
No, yeah. I mean, there were like I still like enjoyed it, but I guess it was just like it was just so short, very very briefly used, like too briefly. I feel like that. I think the idea is very cool, but it's just like here it is for 5 minutes.
Yeah,
I don't know. Like,
very short,
very very short, and then the final boss, you're just like, okay, you're just not gonna do Link anymore, or. You know what they should have done? They should have let you be Link, but you just swap. You just jump to him, and then the Zelda.
And you go back to Zelda. Yeah,
and then
that could work too.
And then she just uses the last thing you used.
Right.
There you go.
That could work too.
They should have done that.
Well,
then you would have done all the things you learned in the game.
The problem is at the end of the day, that game was a filler game. You know, it was a game because the Switch 2's not ready yet.
Yeah.
We need something for a holiday season to sell a console.
I mean, it was like an experiment that just didn't really.
They half-assed it, basically.
They half-assed the experiment.
They were like, we're not too sure. Oh, Zelda game starring Zelda? Oh, I don't think that'll sell.
What? you play as a female protagonist? No
one wants to play that.
Metroid.
It would have the franchise, they don't believe it.
Yeah, right.
Oh, Nintendo.
Yeah, but, yeah, I mean, I guess at the end of the day, that's sort of like where I stand, I guess. I'm trying to think of like anything particularly unique that you guys didn't already
Did you like
say.
Mickey Smoothies?
Ah, the fucking smoothies.
You love the smoothies.
That was so dumb because, yeah, I mean, like, that, because the game is so easy, because they let you carry beds that let you heal you. It's like, why would I waste, like, some kind of really powerful smoothie if I can just, like, sleep on this bed?
I've cleared all the enemies in this floor, so I'll have time to sleep.
And then I was kind of hoping that with the hard mode that they were going to not let you do that. And I was just sort of assuming that would be the case.
That would make sense.
Like, oh, like, make it harder. Don't let you auto heal. Like, no, it's just like,
and you still can.
You can do whatever you want.
Wow.
It's like, it's really not that hard at all. So, yeah, the smoothies, I only used them at the end. That was really it. It was just like, because that was when I first got to the boss, I almost beat it, but I just had all the wrong smoothies. Like, I just didn't have the right ones. I just had, like, charge that I still never used because I didn't know what it was for.
Glow in the dark?
The wind up.
Oh, the wind.
Glow in the dark one. Yeah, I had a bunch of those. It's like 5 minutes of that, but 2 hearts. So when I'm using those instead of like, I have all this in my image. So I'm at the final boss, and I almost was able to make it. So then I was just like, well, all I have to do is just get a bunch of badass smoothies. And then go to this boss, and then I'll just win, and I did.
There you go. Well, the milk was it milk and honey, Frank? What was that? Was that the best?
Yeah.
Milk and honey is the best.
There you go.
Or the gold egg, right? If you do the gold egg with anything, that's really good too.
Mm-hmm. Not as good as the milk and honey.
Oh, is it? I don't remember. No.
But I checked because I did all of them.
You did the math.
Some of those sounded good though. I was like, ooh, milk and honey. That sounds like it almost sounds like a milk tea. I'm like, that sounds good.
There you go.
I just think the weird part was the fact that they charge you money. You're giving him ingredients, and he charges you money to make it. Like what? Like what?
Labor isn't free. Come on.
I mean, just so they don't, because otherwise you would just do the cooking on your own, a la Breath of the Wild. But I guess it's just.
Let's steal every other mechanic, but not that one.
Yeah.
We have to draw a line somewhere, gentlemen.
No, that's the problem. It just, I don't know. We're at the point now with other games. I feel like we can't let go of Breath of the Wild now. It's like
I know, but they said they would though, right? Allegedly.
We'll find out.
We'll see what the next one does, because I feel like every time we get like, oh, okay, we're moving on from the Breath of the Wild mechanic, and it pops up again.
But I think maybe they're just waiting for like a new main Zelda, and all these other Zeldas that come out are like, oh, what's the side one? So we can still.
Yeah.
That's true, I suppose.
So you're saying like this one is kind of like, oh, the side one. Sort of like in the vein of, well, I guess it's literally in the same vein of Link's Awakening, the remake, kind of.
Yeah. So
man, that's an argument.
Once the Zelda for the Switch 2 comes out, and they're still with Breath, then we'll know. Okay, they weren't serious.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's just how I see it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Who am I?
I hope they don't like use
I'm
this
no expert.
format.
You're next. We talked about this, Frank. You're on the next.
I mean, if they could perfect this one, that would be. I mean, I don't know.
It'd be nice. There's room for improvement easily in this concept, and I think if they wanted to, they could.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they want to. Personally, I want to be wrong. I'm hoping I'm wrong.
This one felt rushed.
Yeah, well, I felt like just like
100%.
the Princess Peach game and the Mario Luigi Brothership game.
Switch 2 isn't happening. Fuck.
And it sounds like we need something to sell consoles this season. Look, this game's coming out now. Everybody, look at that. When clear's a game they know they could have hold off to the Switch 2. It's like, well, we got to do it now. Put it now.
Anything else, Andy, from you?
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah. That's my take on Echoes of Wisdom.
5 out of 5.
No, it's not in my top 5 games.
Oh no!
Yeah, I don't have it in there.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
Whoops.
Spoiler alert. The next thing is so funny. So before I was writing this list and I just came up with this thing, and I walk in your room, and then I walk in this room, and I'm like, oh my god, we are going to talk about Die Hard. Because this is the first time, and I'm pointing to the Die Hard poster.
I do have a Die Hard poster.
Yeah.
It is
Ray's
Christmas time.
room,
Mm-hmm.
And because I looked at my list as I was walking in, I look up, I see Die Hard, looking at my list, Die Hard. I'm like, wow,
Tis the season.
Tis the season. I was like, that's very serendipitous, I thought. But yeah, I had never seen Die Hard. I went to...
And I remember this about you all of a sudden, and I'm like mad and happy at the same time. Like, why did it take you so long? But at least you finally did
But
it.
no,
Ray's gonna cry now.
That's
He's like,
funny.
"Ugh."
I mean, yeah. Well, you can cry if you want. But it was one of those things where I was spending Christmas with my family, and then someone in my family we were talking about Die Hard, and I said, oh, I haven't seen Die Hard, and guess what their reaction was?
They smacked you across the face?
They went, what? You haven't seen blah, blah, blah. Like anybody I talk to in my life, you say that, they want to throw bricks at you.
Pretty much. Pretty much.
Like, you haven't seen it? So then they were like, we're going to watch it. And I'd never been in that situation where because it's Christmas.
Hostile
They locked you in the locked the door, threw it the
You're gonna
key.
sit down. We're gonna pry you up. You're gonna watch this movie.
You're gonna enjoy this popcorn.
Well, it's a perfect scenario, especially how Christmas Eve and Christmas usually are. It's like, what do you want to watch? Like, we're gonna watch 3 Christmas movies at least.
True.
So then, I told them that, and they're like, "We're watching Die Hard right now." So yeah, I sat down and finally watched Die Hard. Obviously, I can tell which side of
I might have liked it.
The argument of people.
Oh, is it a Christmas movie?
The whole dumb thing, yeah. But I mean, obviously it is. It's so it's not even arguable to me. It's like
I don't understand the argument.
the credits are White Christmas. How can you get any more Christmas than that? It's no, that's
literally Christmas.
What's the debate?
That if it's a Christmas movie or not. It's silly to me because it's yeah, it is. I don't know.
Oh, and what's the other option?
It's
not.
Hanukkah?
Well, I mean, because there's Santa's all over. It's during They're at a Christmas party during the thing. I mean, it could have been called Terrorist Attack at the Christmas Party, and it'd be like, yep, that's it.
There you go. Because the word's Christmas in the title, then it's official now.
Exactly. Yeah. Then, nope, check the box. No, it's definitely that. But it was very, 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 very good. I liked it a lot.
Good.
I get why everyone freaks out over it, and the fact that I haven't seen it. And yeah, I just I mean, it's such it's beautifully shot. It's a really good looking movie. Just the beginning, how LA looks at the beginning with the orangeness and everything before it gets dark. I mean, it looks smoggy as hell too, but it's
my LA, gotta love it.
But it's just it just looked nice, and I don't know. It's just I got freaking Alan Rickman as the craziest bad guy. Oh, I love I don't want to give away the movie. But
I think everyone else, you're the only person in the world hasn't seen it, Andy.
I know, right?
I think spoilers are okay.
You're fine, yeah.
Who am I spoiling for myself?
I was gonna say
20 minutes or a week ago. Wait, have you seen it?
I've seen it.
You
See,
have?
he's a human being.
So the whole part where I was just at the end where I think one of my favorite scenes in the movie is that part where Alan Rickman's pretending to be someone at the party. He's like, no.
All
no,
right.
shoot me,
Oh,
don't
you're
shoot
one
me.
of them,
Yeah,
aren't you?
and then the whole he's like, let me give you the gun, and it's oh, that's so great. But no, yeah, I mean, and just a simple, nice, a straightforward movie, but I don't know, it was still exciting. I don't know, it's just a very well done. I was I know he's gonna survive at the end. I know what all the things.
I know there's 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 into
I've
these.
seen the image of Alan Rickman falling a gazillion times before even seeing the end.
That's crazy.
oh yeah, this is how he dies. I know how. He's
now I
gonna
have
die.
context.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I just love all like the friggin' like the team of like Fabio men he has working for him. They're, like, just like a bunch
Pretty
of
much.
long-haired German guys.
The prettiest
It's like,
Germans.
we're going to help you kill Bruce Willis. No, yeah, it's just really like it was very like it's like kind of like I feel like a lot of like it's like it's silly to say, but it's almost like thinking about like game mechanics in that movie where they're like shooting the glass to like. I mean, it's silly, like not like it's like any world situation, but I'm thinking of it like a video game where you shoot the glass, and then you have the glass on the floor, and then like, oh, he's like cutting his feet, so it's like, yeah, that part
still hurts every time. Every time I see that scene, I'm like, oh,
yeah. But it's like one of those, yeah, it's brutal, but it's still like I don't know, it's very exciting. I guess exciting like a video game.
Yeah, I guess I see that.
That's kind of what I'm.
It's a
trying to
very
say.
video game like plot line and setup, right?
They made an arcade game.
There you go.
Oh, I bet. Yeah, I was thinking about that the whole time. I'm like, oh, how would they do like? What if they did like? You know how they did that new Indiana Jones? What if they did that for like Die Hard or something like that? But did it well.
A new, yeah, all right.
Yeah, because I mean, I heard that new Indiana Jones is good. So
I keep saying I'm gonna play it, and I haven't yet to.
Yeah.
I've started it, but like I barely touched it. Basically,
but you like actually went into the game a little bit.
I played like the first hour or two, but that's been like that was a few. I meant to play it during this Christmas week, just didn't happen.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's high on my list too. That'll probably might actually try to tackle that into the new year, just because I was a freaking huge Indiana Jones freak when I was a kid. But big tangent there from Die Hard. But no, I guess that's all I really have to say about it. I mean, like everybody else knows how they feel about it.
We were right all along, weren't we, Andy?
Yeah, pretty much. And I was not even in the same room as you all. But no, it was like a fun movie. Good bad guy, great good guy. Great little like betrayal in the middle, like little interesting character moments.
You start cleaning your toes on the carpet now, Andy?
No, because I'm gonna cut my feet on the freaking glass. I'll never do that. If I do that, then I might have to run somewhere.
That's
cut my
true.
Feet on some glass.
Never know when Terrence might seize the building.
Yeah. Oh, here, don't worry, guys. I got this.
I know what to do.
Sir, why are you taking your shirt off? Sir? It's for the plot, everyone. It's for the plot.
Of course.
I'll need this.
I mean, because my tank top is black as hell now. It's like it starts out. I love how that happens too.
It
like
just gets
darker
worse and
darker.
worse.
Yeah. Very good movie. Thanks for the recommendation.
The world.
The world. Well, you too, because you're always mad at me when I don't. When
that
I
is true.
Seen it, so
I always forget, and then I get mad all over again.
Tackle is A Wonderful Life, and then you'll be fine.
Oh, we've talked about.
He did that the year before, I think.
Yeah, we talked about like the first time I watched it on the podcast. Yeah.
And Andy's working his way through the film catalog here.
I have that on my list to talk about. I have it ? Wonderful Life. I mean, I watched it, so that's all.
There you go.
So that's my comment about that. My big gaming thing now is San Andreas. I just was like, they did the update to the definitive edition, because I know
the
people have been
trilogy
bitching
thing
about that forever, and it's still supposed to be pretty bad. I mean, it is not perfect. There's a lot of problems.
I was gonna say,
especially on the Switch. But...
how good or bad is it now?
So yeah, I mean, I don't know a lot about the fixes, but I know it's a lot better. I know that one of the biggest thing is they added back the original visual effects. So like there used to be in the original game, there was kind of like that fog,
right,
the colorful fog. But in the definitive edition, they didn't.
They took it all out, right? You could see everything.
Everything, and it's like, so if you do that on the Switch and you look in the distance, shit looks so ugly. It looks like N64 graphics. It's like, it's so painful to look at. Yeah, like if you feel like a sniper out and it's just like a blob of like black and white, and it's like, this is a building. It's terrible. So then it's like you have to do that because like it just like messes with like the immersion, and it just looks better. So that was like the biggest thing, but. I'm sure it's because it's on the Switch. I'm just such a Switch freak. The pop-in is really bad, especially when you're like riding a motorcycle and you're like zooming down the street, and then you're like, what's coming up? And then it's like bush, and then you're like, boom, and you're like,
eagle fly.
And then bushes in San Andreas are like hard as rock. They're like freaking like. They're walls. They're not even bushes.
Like
you
like Driver 3 in the poles.
What?
Yeah.
Driver 3, remember, Ray? With the
that's
a reference.
That's a big giant.
Yes. Wow.
Yes. That pole was strong. That was the strongest pole in history.
Wow.
I think I remember that. Yeah. No, I mean, it's like that. It's so stupid, but that's like the worst thing. I think there are some other like weird little quirks. I don't know if it's like because the new, because they have like a little bit of a new control scheme. I think they updated it a little bit. But I don't know. I still enjoy it. But no, yeah, I mean, like I think it's still a really good game, even like 20 20 years, I think, right? Was it 2004?
We don't have to think about it, Andy.
I'm
We don't
just
have to
trying
think about it. Just let that go. Numbers don't matter around here.
All right. Fair enough. But it's an old game. And I just think that I don't know, it just held up so well. It's just, I mean, there's a lot of like kind of like ugly things about Grand Theft Auto, just the way it's, you know, it's not like the prettiest looking game in general. Like when you look at everything up close, like the cutscenes of like.
It is a PS2 game for sure.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, I guess I really like that game. Still very fun. Yeah, I like that it's like I like that it's like a nice in between with like the complexities of like the newer Grand Theft Autos, but it still has that kind of old game feel that I like.
That's true. I can see that. I can see
the
that.
simplicity of it. Rather, there's no like, even though the shooting is stupid, it's just like blah 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 blah.
Right.
There's like, I feel like sometimes I get tired of like the cover systems. I'm like, I know what I'm in for, but other than I guess that's kind of all I have to say about that. I mean, you guys know Grand Theft Auto. You know what it's like. It's the same Grand Theft Auto.
I'm familiar with it.
Yeah.
I think I'm the only other person on the podcast that's familiar with it, and I think about it. Frank?
I've played Vice City.
Oh,
you
just
have?
Vice City?
Okay.
Just Vice City.
Oh, I thought you played San Andreas too. Oh, just the Vice City. Okay.
No.
Isn't New 6 supposed to be in San Andreas, or was it in?
That's
No, that's in Vice City.
6 is going to be in Vice City, yeah.
Supposedly.
So 7. So 10 years from now, we'll get
Right.
7.
There you go.
Yeah. That sounds right. I was doing the math in my head. But yeah, that's what I have to say about that. Yeah, I guess I'll leave it at that. I mean, I was going to mention briefly that I played Mario Party Jamboree with my nephew. I thought that was interesting.
It's a good game.
Yeah. You played it?
Played a little bit of it.
Yeah.
We played it for our stream.
Yeah. A charity event.
Oh, I missed that.
Which is now
Oh, wait, that was
disappeared from the
Jamboree?
archives.
I didn't
That
know
was
That was
Jamboree.
the new one?
That was the newest
wait,
one.
What map did you? Because I did the Mario Kart one. I guess that's like really the only one I saw.
No, it must have been like the first map, just because it was like the first time we all played. So I'm like, let's keep it simple for everyone, so we're on the same
For
playing
some
field.
reason, I thought it was the one that I had. I didn't even like check that. But yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, no, it's fun. Yeah, the Mario Kart one is cool. It's like, I mean, it's just you just go around the map faster. It's not really like, it's like it looks cool and it feels fun, but it's not really.
You're
that
not racing
different.
or something, right?
Yeah, it's really not that different. It's just, it's an interesting way to look at the map.
right. Spice it
You
up.
still roll the dice. You still play the mini games.
Those dice are loaded, by the way.
Sometimes it feels like they
shout,
are.
Shout out to Poor Ivan. Poor Ivan, the NPC.
He struggled. He
Oh
struggled.
my gosh.
Go look up the YouTube shorts if you're curious.
I like to know at least certain things no. There's always going to be a Grand Theft Auto, and the Mario Party CPU hates your guts.
There you
go. But yeah, cool game. You can't go wrong. Mario Party, man. But yeah, that's kind of it for me. Yeah.
All right, then, Andy. Then we'll move along here and we'll ask Frank. Frank, sir, what have you been up to? What you been watching and playing?
Oh, I've been mostly watching stuff.
Ooh, what are we watching, Frank?
I wrote it down. Let me look.
What's on the menu today?
Well, the usual stuff that I watch, like Seinfeld.
Mm-hmm.
What's that one with the Big Bang guy? Sheldon.
Oh,
Big Bang Theory?
Yeah.
Oh.
No, but the one with the when he's little.
the spin-off?
Oh, Young Sheldon.
Curb Your Enthusiasm. I'm still watching that.
Nice. I need to get those.
But I mentioned the Penguin last time that I finished.
You
right?
did mention.
Okay, so
Mhm.
yeah, I wasn't sure.
You're
about
very
it.
excited about it. I wanted to get to it, but haven't. But hopefully this next week coming, I will.
Oh, you gave it a good. I didn't realize. Yeah, I heard that you liked it.
Yeah, it was good. I enjoyed it. It was up and then kind of that dipped a little and then it finished on the
High net.
upper end.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I'm interested though.
Let's see. I watched the movie Beetlejuice Part 2.
Oh, the new one. I
Beetlejuice.
kind of wanted to see the 2, but I haven't yet.
I liked it.
Yeah.
I thought it was I did not think the people from Part 1 would come out. So I was like, wait, that I didn't know that the girl is the girl that comes out in Stranger Things.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
like,
yeah.
Whoa, she was young. I was like,
Yeah, she was like
Wow,
16.
the movie was pretty
Yes,
old now.
it's
yeah, I think
once
that
again, Miles, we don't need to do math. We don't need to do math.
That's why I said it's old. I didn't say. I
Alright.
didn't say the year.
Sorry.
all right. Well, I was about to say the year.
Whew.
Don't
dodgeball
be
there.
like me. Don't be like me.
I thought it was cool. I mean, I kind of just Ray was probably like, oh, I saw that coming, but for me
See.
it was like, oh, that's kind of cool, and it didn't have like oh my god, shocking thing, but it was just like, oh, that's neat. I thought I don't know. It's just I guess I had really low expectations, and it was just like, oh,
That
not
helps.
bad, not bad.
Yeah, that does help.
So for me, it was not a must watch, but I think you'll enjoy if you watch it.
Okay.
Okay.
I mean, I love the first one. Like,
It's kind of a classic, I
Yeah,
suppose.
I saw it
well,
recently.
I'm
I really
surprised
liked
they
it.
even bothered trying to make the new one. But like everything comes back around eventually.
It kind of reminded me of Sherlock, where it's
interesting.
like the
But the British TV show one,
Yeah.
not the Iron Man one.
there's an Iron.
There's an Iron Man one.
Robert Downey Jr., right? He's
Oh no
Sherlock.
no.
Okay.
Well, in the sense where like the first one you could tell it's in the past, and then this one like they didn't try to make it in the
I see
same
what you're
time
saying.
period. It's more like, oh, we're it's been 50 years, so
Right.
or not that long,
Right.
but it's you could tell it's been a long time, and they just like integrated the story into the times.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
okay.
feel that's what I'm trying to say. So yeah, that's a good one. Then I watched Joker Part 2.
Oh yeah.
Oh yes, our an ex podcast idea because of reviews I read would never happen, but now here we are.
That is not a movie.
I made the right choice. Attaboy podcast array. He knew what he was doing.
We dodged a bullet there.
That is terrible. It was just like
Well, I think it's a musical, isn't it, Frank?
it's musical. Yeah, it's definitely a musical, if you even want to call it that. But
It's not even a good musical.
like because I had to watch like a explanation of the movie. 'Cause
Oh,
I
no.
don't know what happened. And like I guess even in musical terms, it sucked.
Oh,
Because the guy was like, yeah, they repeated the same song like 5 times, and
Ooh.
normally they only repeat it like once, if that.
Right.
Huh.
So it just they sang too much, and they had like no, I don't know how to explain it, but it was just bad. Like
Huh.
it was like, I guess it had so little story that I'm like, well, let's put a song here because we don't know what else to do.
Right. No one knew what they're doing. There's like they agreed to a second movie. Shit, and we forgot to hire writers. Start singing, I guess.
Yeah, it was just I don't know what went into all these decisions, and then it was just terrible.
Okay.
Okay. It's not a
That worked.
movie.
We
It's
dodged that
not a
bullet.
movie. It's
So-
not
Not a movie, so says Frank.
Not a movie.
It's like, you go to a restaurant, you go for a meal.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this is not even a snack. This is like, this is a snack that somebody threw on the ground, and it's just like, that's what you get. Like, it
Was that gum?
it's
Ooh.
not a main course, but even for a snack, it failed.
It's not even a good stale
It's just,
snack. Mm.
yeah. It was
Wow.
already a side story, and the side to the side to the side. No.
Yeah.
This might be the harshest review we've had so far on the podcast.
Yeah, it's not even, is it watching a blue
Worse
screen?
than stale gum on the street.
Better than blue screen of death. Better. I'm trying to do all the ones that Frank called my animes. Blue screen of death. When I watched Paint Dry.
Paint dry. I remember that.
Oh, no,
one.
that's a classic one about the paint dry one. Yeah, I couldn't know that one.
Yeah, so that's enough of that. Then I watched Sonic 3.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I was
Better than gum on the floor?
Oh yeah.
Good.
This is like
Was it a bag of popcorn at a theater?
Luxury popcorn.
What do we-
What kind of snack?
It was
Or
like,
or like one of
Compare
the
it to meal.
Salty,
so
sweet.
AMC dining theaters in which like they give food to you.
no. This was like leftover Thanksgiving dinner.
Ooh,
Okay, that's
still
not- that's not
good.
bad.
That's
It's
still
not bad at
good.
all.
That's still good.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I liked like all the jokes that they had, and I'm gonna what do you call it? I'm gonna fault it, but at the same time not fault it. It's just
Mm.
kind of like
Mm.
it has that problem of like trilogies or just
Franchises.
animes that
Mm.
have been around for a while. It's where like you gotta make the stakes higher, and then or like you've seen it, so it's not as cool as the first time.
I get you.
So like the first song that I watched, you see him, he goes all fast, or even just the first Marvel movie like Iron Man, you're like, oh, this is so cool,
Mhm.
finally a hero here.
Yeah.
But now this is like the third one, and now there's like 4 of them, 4 like Tails, Knuckles, Sonic,
Mm-hmm.
So-
the whole squad.
you kind of get numb to it a little bit.
I can see that.
But it's not like I wouldn't dock it too much for that. But
Mhm.
it's just I thought about it like they're in this situation where it's like world ending, and it's just like not really that worried about it.
I feel like they're gonna somehow pull through.
But I thought it was really funny. I thought all the jokes hit for me.
Nice.
And like my nephew's a big time Sonic fan, and like I said
someone
that
else,
I-
someone else.
One of us.
Yeah,
One of us.
Yeah, I said I wanted to take him to watch it, but really I wanted to watch it. I don't want to just like spoil it.
Well,
Not that it was had like major spoilers, but I just it was just I felt like Jim Carrey was the main character of this movie because he came out a lot, and then I did fall asleep for like 10 minutes. So at some point, certain character was like dead or almost dead, and I'm like, I don't know how that happened.
What happened? Sure.
But
what did I miss? Just got real. Just got back in. What happened?
I don't know. And then there was a speech at the end that kind of made me cry.
Oh.
And it was just like,
I'll say that's a good movie, Frank. If it makes you cry.
yeah, it was just like,
There you go.
oh my
Shit.
god,
Sonic got real.
Wow,
I didn't expect the
really
I didn't expect the feels to be in this movie. This is a kids movie.
We all just want to go fast.
And it was like, oh my god, where did this come from?
Wow.
So it was cool. I think if you liked either like the first one or the second one, you should watch this
Or
one.
you're a Sonic
or if you're
junkie,
just a Sonic fan, I think it's nice.
like someone over in the corner here.
Or like maybe if you're a Sonic fan, you might not like it because you might be like, oh, this is not accurate, like or something.
Oh no, that's Sonic's dumb.
Yeah,
I love it, but it's dumb as fuck.
yeah, it's just
So I don't know if
Can he go fast?
what'll trigger you, but
Everything.
but for me, it's like just like part one. I actually haven't seen part two.
Wait, so you
Me
skipped
neither.
the
Yeah,
whole?
me neither.
Skipping out here.
Yeah, I was
Frank.
just I will. It'll be fine. Like Tails comes out.
Right.
I played Sonic 2.
So yeah, I liked it. I definitely.
Cool.
I would say not a must watch, but I recommend.
Okay,
Cool.
okay.
And it does have like 2 post credit scenes. So wait for
Oh,
that.
so stick around. Okay.
Yeah, because they already greenlighted. They're making the 4th one now.
Which
Hmm.
they could have stopped after this one.
I'm sure.
Which
But money.
But then I'm like, are they gonna make part 4 now? I'm like, cause
Oh, there's a couple theories Ray thought of earlier.
yeah.
How they're,
You guys seen it already?
No, I haven't
Oh,
seen it yet.
But you know what happened.
No, I don't even know what happens.
Well, let me tell you. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, no.
So yeah, I watched that. That was cool. And then the last movie I actually watched a couple of hours ago.
Oh, fresh.
I watched Mufasa,
Oh, there you go.
Right. Yeah.
and it was better than I was expecting.
Yeah.
It still has that. They fixed it a little bit, but it still has that problem that the Lion King had, where I can't tell which line is which.
Yeah.
Because they're like,
Who's got the scar?
This is a little too realistic.
Is it photo anim? What is it called? Photo animations of nonsense.
Photorealistic,
Yeah,
or-
photoreal. It's not. They're not animated. It's photorealistic movement, whatever nonsense.
Well, one thing that helps in this one is that there's not that many lions. That's
That would help.
and also they kind of like for example with Scar, they made him darker, a little darker, so you can tell it's not Mufasa.
Mm-hmm.
And then the bad guys are clearly a different color.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's only one girl most of the time, so you could tell when And I like that I didn't know what was gonna happen. That's part of what I didn't like about the first one, where I was like, it's exactly the same movie.
Oh yeah.
But you know how I'll compare it to Aladdin, where it's the same movie, but things happen slightly different.
Right. I can see that.
So it was cool. It was funny. It had some jokes. The songs were okay. This one, it
I
makes
didn't know it was gonna have songs.
yeah. I mean, it's a Disney movie. So
Oh,
That's
that's
true.
true. That's true.
That's a good point.
so I mean, here it makes sense. I was expecting songs.
No Lady Gaga?
No Lady Gaga. No Joaquin Phoenix. Here it didn't bother me because I'm like, okay, I knew it was expected.
Right, it makes
and then the
sense.
songs were like, explaining the story or like progressing the story.
Yeah.
He just wants to be
There
cute.
was just one stupid song in that it wasn't bad, but it was just the person that was singing it or the lion that was singing it.
Uh-huh.
It didn't make sense for me.
Hmm.
So let me explain it. Just imagine the toughest bad guy around.
Uh-huh.
Think Dark Vader. Think
Sure.
who else?
No, he is Simba.
Who think Ganondorf?
Uh-huh.
Just somebody really evil and like I have a really deep voice.
Right.
Mhm.
And then they sing a song about doing something bad.
Uh-huh.
And I kid you not, the words are, "I'm gonna make you go bye bye."
I'm gonna make you go bye-bye.
Yeah, and it's just like, why does this? Okay, I understand that he's gonna do something bad, but like, why does he turn into a baby?
I mean,
Goo
I understand you can't say like murder you or maybe or just, but make you go bye bye. Like
I'm gonna send you to the next dimension.
this is
to the shadow realm.
Oh my God.
Fucking Shadow Realm.
Yeah, I feel like they could have thought of something better. But
That's hilarious. Oh my
I
god.
gotta keep that PG rated.
That was not what I was. That's the last thing in the world I thought you were going to say. That's so funny.
so but it's not a bad song. It's just like it doesn't
The
make sense for
line, the lyrics.
the toughest, like the legendary Broly guy to be like to be singing this song. Like, and
wow, that's
so
hilarious.
that's just I feel like that was a bit off.
Not the greatest songwriting, I don't think.
And then this is just like I was curious to see what would happen in the past with Mufasa and Scar, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna see why he became a bad guy. And I mean, do you guys mind spoilers? You gonna watch it?
But I need to ask one important question, Frank, before you get into spoilers. Does he have a scar in this movie before? Did you call him Scar?
Not before.
Okay, so he has a different name, and then he just becomes Scar.
Yeah, his name is like Turok or something like that.
Yeah.
Something with a T.
it was
The
that-
dinosaur comes out, and then he beats him, and he gets the name Scar.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Go ahead, Frank.
Do you mind spoilers or
I have no interest at all.
Oh, okay.
I don't. I don't know. If anyone else does.
Miles?
No, none here.
Go for it.
Okay. All right. So basically, I can't root for Mufasa. I feel like everything that Scar did was well deserved.
Frank keeps bringing up these arguments that the villains did nothing wrong in all these movies and games, and we have yet another example.
And really
apparently.
this maybe I'm really the villain at the end of the day.
He did nothing wrong. A little genocide did a lot of good.
Oh boy.
They'll fix that in the sequel.
Just watch it and just tell me what you think.
There's a sequel. I mean, this prequel sequel.
All right, Frank. Well, now we're going to move along here on the podcast. And good luck to Redditor Ray. Cheers to you, sir. But my week on the podcast here is going to be a lot quicker than that. And I'm just going to talk about basically the few things I have done. Nothing too exciting, to be honest. Holiday movies, all the holiday movies. Die Hard, we already talked about Die Hard. It's still amazing. Nightmare Before Christmas, we watched that. It's been a while since I've seen that movie.
That was a little.
Miles hasn't really seen it all the way through, I don't think, so it was the first time for him.
That was. I'm surprised. It's not like he never seen Dino.
You haven't seen it before?
I never seen it all the way through. I've seen bits and pieces, like the small little musical numbers, things like that. But I've seen all the way through. No, it is interesting. You've watched that movie and then try. Well, you never the Kingdom Hearts version of that story. You're like, oh, that's not how that works at all.
Well, I mean, it's this. It's clearly they had an idea, an aesthetic versus a script verse, and I feel that rewatching it, and it's been a while, and I'm like, oh yeah, it's cool of an idea, but like, who the fuck is Oogie Boogie? He is the bad guy in the movie.
Yeah,
I can tell you that.
What is Oogie Boogie?
And yeah, is he a bug? Is he a combination of the bugs combined? He becomes Oogie Boogie. Is Oogie Boogie the sack?
Yeah.
The more you think about it, the more it doesn't really hold up, but it looks cool, doesn't it? And
Yeah.
that's what matters. And after all these years, Disney's finally cashed in on that passion project of Tim Burton's. To me, I find it more interesting as a behind the scenes kind of how that movie came to be and the legal rights issue too, because he did it at Disney, but then he left Disney and this and that. So if you're curious, I'd recommend go checking out either behind the scenes on the DVD or YouTube. I'm sure someone's done a cool documentary of it. So yeah, there's that. Wonderful Life, still a classic. A lot of feels in that movie. Interesting. Every time I watch the movie, I relate to some other aspect of the story I didn't catch the first time around.
And that story gets more realer every day as we get older.
It's such like a good. I don't know. I don't know. It's very movies. So
Which
good.
one's on A Wonderful Life?
It's super old.
It's the old school black and white one with
when he's like, I want to live again, Clarence.
Yeah, where I guess the main plot point is like he dies, kind of quotation marks, because of his guardian angel.
It's like he like goes to an alternate reality where he
Is
doesn't
this the
exist.
one with the
basically.
like future goes, past goes?
No,
it's
that's a
Christmas Carol.
Yeah.
I don't think I've seen that movie then.
Well, I'll chew you out later after the podcast, Frank. Don't worry.
That one.
You'll get a lashing.
That
Oh,
movie.
no.
Oh my gosh! I reveal what a wuss I am, but I watched every time I watched, or the last few times I watched that movie, I always go like, I'm not gonna cry at the end, and then the last few minutes come, and then I'm like, oh, and then I get
Teared every
I
time.
did a tear because it's a good movie.
I want to cry. I'll watch it.
There you go. You want the feels? Check
It's
out
a
A Wonderful
good-ass
Life.
movie.
I want to feel what I felt in Sonic 3.
All I know is that
Let's see if it's just as good as Sonic the Hedgehog.
Side by
3.
side. It's a Wonderful Life ending. Sonic
Sonic
3
the
ending.
Hedgehog.
I don't know.
If only Jimmy Stewart had to go fast. If only. He ran fast in that snow.
Him on that street, but going really fast.
Oh my goodness. Oh my god. Okay, my brain's got too busy making Sonic jokes now.
No. Keep going. Go forward.
Okay. But yeah. Then what I'm sure thinking of there, the cliches. We saw both the Charlie Brown and Garfield specials for the Christmas holidays. Still cute. And yeah, I'm trying to think of anything else. That was the one. I'm sure there's one I was most excited about because first time watching.
Die Hard.
No, it was second probably one I was excited for. But was a movie over on Amazon, the
Holdovers.
The Holdovers.
Oh, I wanted to see that.
Yeah, and I didn't know about it till Miles told me because we did a quick Google search. What's like the cool Christmas movies to see if there's something we haven't seen
was
yet.
number 99.
Oh yeah, there was some list where that. Oh, we did see Home Alone. That's still a classic.
Oh yes, so fucking good.
Very good. But yes, the Holdovers is just a movie made for me. It feels like just
Paul Giamatti.
Yeah,
Paul Giamatti stars in it.
It's a rated movie.
He's a grumpy old man who looks down on most people, and perhaps
Check. Wait.
does it sound familiar to anyone?
Let me get the list. Who's check?
Indeed.
Yeah.
The quick setup without getting into too many details of spoilers, the setup is they're like in this private school up in like
prep school.
It's like a prep school, yeah, I guess, for college-bound students, right? And he's like he's the historian teacher there. And during Christmas break, all the kids go home for the break, right? But of course, there's a couple kids that can't go home because the parents don't pick them up or this or that some reason, and so they're left over at the campus. And there's a certain teacher who supervises them and watches over them and like kind of makes like a summer vacation, I guess, holiday vacation, but not the good kind of vacation, I suppose. And of course, he gets stuck with the duty. He doesn't want to do the duty because like he's like the worst teacher. Everyone hates his guts at the school, and this and that. So it's a bit of Ebenezer Scrooge just a situation you find yourself there. And the movie progresses, and it starts off a certain way, but then it kind of turns and goes a different way. And it does everything you kind of want in a Christmas movie, but does it with just enough of a twist to make it feel refreshing and interesting.
That's cool.
So the staples are there, but they don't come out exactly the way you think they might go. So I really liked it, and just the writing and the characters and the authenticity of like the growth and the development of really down to earth characters that seem real. Because I know sometimes in Hollywood movies we make them very fluffy and nice and comfortable and digestible, but at the same time, like, I've never met this person in my life. Who is this human being?
Right. Yeah.
But here, everyone does seem like I've met this person before. I can relate to this person. Yes, there's a lot of Jim Beam sponsorship, I guess, in this movie. So whiskey fans rejoice. But yeah, that was like a new holiday special that I recommend people to check out. Not this year, definitely next year.
Yeah. When in doubt,
it's worth the hype.
When you feel like you're stressed out, grab all of Jim Beam.
There you go.
We get you feel right away.
So yeah, those were the holiday movies for the season. Video game wise, sadly didn't get a chance to really play anything brand new.
Not the COD?
The only thing I did play was a little bit with the COD, and I'm ashamed to admit it here on this week on the podcast.
Oh no, he did it. Are you doing what we? I'm assuming you're going to say right now. Go ahead, brother.
I bought my bad anime skin.
Your wife.
I bought it.
Oh, you did it.
I did it.
One of us. One of us.
It happens to us all.
I didn't pull for it. At least I didn't pull for it. I was one price. I agreed to the price. I had my Xbox Gamer Pass. I got an extra 5% when using my special credit card. So I got it at a discounted rate. I was losing money by not buying my bad anime skin.
One of us. One of us.
So I did buy it. But it's because right now Call of Duty's been the game I've been going to because it's quick, it's easy. I get a couple matches in.
Warzone?
The multiplayer for Black Ops 6.
Okay,
That's the new one that just came out.
Yeah, because Warzone's for losers.
I know, right? I was behind until this one. And like I said, it's the one thing I've been playing to because it's quick and go, especially, like I said, I've been busy the holiday season. And I was like, all right, fuck it. I'll buy it this one time. I just started it. The season just started. I bought the battle pass. Like I said, I'm losing money by not playing it. So I did get it. I got it. And yes, enjoy me my discount, the major outfit, apparently. So yes, I'll be doing that in the victory poses when I stomp on all the noobs and whatever the kids' lingo is these days.
But it's a cute little enemy crow gun.
It does. It makes little nuclear bombs when you kill them.
Ah, sweet. There you
Hawaii.
go.
Indeed. So yeah, that was the thing. Because the other thing that I've been doing the last week or so, which is, I know Targets, it's an audio podcast, but video coming soon, DLC unlocking 2025, is this little handheld here I have here, Shake Maker.
Is it another one?
I got myself a little Christmas gift, you could say. And I got myself a little...
Switch
Don't say it.
A little handheld emulator guy.
Oh,
PSP
wow.
again?
It's it basically looks like a PS Vita for those familiar. This is the Retroid Pocket 5, I believe, is the official name.
Okay, so what's cool with this one, brother?
So it's, for those who are familiar with emulation handhelds, I have talked about before in the past. It's a smaller version of a Steam Deck or a Nintendo Switch, basically. The idea here is if you have a bunch of old games,
it's like a Switch Lite almost.
Yeah, basically. And it's really what it is just an Android device, it's basically an Android phone, and with controllers, and you dump games on it, and you know what emulation set up and this and that, and you have a little portable retro console. And sure enough, for the last week, that's what I've been doing with the little free time between the holidays, because I got it. I wasn't expecting until next week, but I guess Santa delivered it because it showed up literally on Christmas Eve, so I was pretty excited about that.
That's dope.
So during the Christmas ups and downs, I was dabbling with this, setting it all up. It's not too hard, but it is a bit of a tedious process to, this emulator does this, you do this, you do that. But once you set it up, it's all a beautiful little thing. As I will show my co-host here, where, ta-da, it'll show you all the different games and systems I have set up. So we got 3DS, 64, DS, NES, Game Boy, Advance, Game Boy Color, GameCube, Super Nintendo,
It looks
Wii,
so nice.
Dreamcast, of course the Genesis, PlayStation 1, PS2,
Wow.
PSP, and more games that you could put on it. But that's
Wait, do you mind if I take a peek at
Take
it?
it. I'm gonna hand over to Andy.
But can't you play ZZZ on it? The real question
yes.
Can you play?
Can you play Genshin?
You can
Wait,
actually.
can I click into this?
You
the
go ahead.
consoles?
You play with it, Andy. You go check it out. But yes, you actually because it is an Android device, and you can play all the Holdovers games. Also, I have not tested that part out yet.
Well, I don't know.
my
If you play ZZZ, you could play that better with those controls.
Can you connect it to the TV?
You got BB2. Yes, there is a little Switch-like dock that you can buy, which I did buy.
Of course you
and
did.
you can connect it to your TV, and now you can play it on the big screen, assuming you have an external third-party controller to connect to the little device itself.
So I could get Genshin connected to TV, and then finally
You can finally play on the screen.
Or you could just build a PC.
Oh, you got the world is not enough. Wow.
The world's not enough. Yeah, and that's only like a handful.
Not on Switch Online.
No, there's sadly when it comes to old I guess licensed games, you never know if they're ever gonna get a new release. So
Exactly.
you're gonna have to find that old PS2 copy or Genesis copy and make it happen. I got my Ronald McDonald Magical Land for the Genesis.
Legends. Oh my god.
And because this is also a touchscreen, so anything that was like touch controls for the DS or 3DS, it's still playable here.
So what's the main difference between? I know last year we had the Replit, or I got the Replit.
There's a couple different manufacturers. This one basically it's a better processor. This has, I forget which model numbers, but it has one of the Snapdragon processors, which is like the hype train at the moment.
Those are pretty good mobile ones, yeah.
So it's pretty powerful. Like I said, it pretty much could run up to almost anything PS2 and GameCube related, even a little bit of like
PS3?
Wii U and Switch. PS3, I don't think so.
No one can
because
do that.
I don't say PS3 emulation is kind of a nightmare at the moment. Still, they're slowly working on it, but that one's more the tougher consoles to emulate. But yeah, that was been my project, and I got it all neat and set up. There's yet more games I have in my collection I have yet to back up, so I need to back up, and then of course
Now the question
transfer
asked,
over
brother,
here.
the question really to ask here: can you play Link's Awakening in proper form?
Yeah, I do have our DX copy and that thing as well, the color edition and everything.
Oh, and I guess the other one. Do you have Donkey Kong?
I do have Donkey Kong 94 from the Game Boy. Also, I did play that the other day, and
That's
just the way I remember it.
That's a good crack fest.
It is a great game for those who are
You
not
would think
familiar with that.
someone out there.
That is still not on the Nintendo Online, is it?
Mm-mm.
God damn it, Nintendo. Well, that's why I
But
pulled a Thanos and did it myself.
But now you can play all Donkey Kong lands 1 through 3.
Dragon Ball Z Legends.
Wait, well, Legends, is that the... No, that's Sagas. Which one's Legends?
Legends should be the one that was only Japanese.
Oh, is that the one you talked about, Frank?
Yeah,
Oh, right.
me see if I
You could, Frank, if you have your cartridge or perhaps other methods on the internet. But all mine are my cartridges, so nothing nefarious going on there. Turns out when you collect games for the last 20, 30 years, you have a couple games in your catalog.
We have a lot.
So yeah, that was
Yeah.
the thing I was focusing on in between. So yeah, I'll look forward to that. Hopefully some more stuff, because my New Year's resolution, spoiler I guess, for the end of the podcast, I need to play more games, because when it came to my top 5 games of the year, it was easier than I want to admit, because I didn't play a ton of games.
I'll admit that's a problem I'm realizing now as we all get older, is it's very hard. Okay, I'm sorry because I must have Pikachu game. But it's getting hard to play a lot of games more. We need to make more dedicated time for it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's definitely a mindset of like I'm going to gonna play these games and in this order, and I'm just gonna knock them out one by one by one.
Mm-hmm.
And I've already started that setup, and so pretty much that rotation of that. And then I guess now my Retroid Pocket 5 will also be part of the rotation. Go back to play some old classic games because
that's cool.
I just can't put them down apparently. So yeah, that's basically my week. And without further ado, we'll talk about our favorite games of the year. For those who don't know, our list doesn't have to be games that came out in 2024. Ideally, it's basically the first time we've played such game, or maybe it left a huge impression on us, and it just hard to imagine the year 2024 without imagining this game. And so that's what we're going to talk about it here. So hopefully they'll find something a little bit new and old, but all hopefully recommendations. Though Frank, I remember his anime recommendations were only his first 2 picks. I'm curious to see if 5, 4, and 3 is going to be a recommendation this week on the podcast. He's going to think about it now. He's giving me a look that doesn't void confidence with the recommendation.
Frank's like, oh no.
So I guess we're going to have to stay tuned.
I have to redo my list.
And we're going to have to figure out, see what makes the cut. But now, without further ado, we'll go through our number 5, work our way up to 4, and then we'll give a little bit honorable mentions before our number 1, so stay tuned. So I will start us off, gentlemen, and talk about my number 5 pick for 2024, soon to be 2025. I'm jumping the gun a little bit here. But my number 5 pick is maybe a little cheating, but I guess I'll do a little preference. I didn't play a lot of games this year. Maybe like...
Wait.
I had about 10 games to pick out of my list for 2024.
Sweet.
So basically 50% of the games that I liked or didn't like was going to be on my top 5.
Ooh, so you're saying so you pair, in the way you said, brother, you pared it down so that way you only get the most unique, exquisite taste.
Yes. Like I might have cheated a little bit here because it is technically a brand new game, but it might be a story and characters I'm familiar with previously on my adventures during the PS3 days. So the game I am picking for our number 5 game of 2024 is The Last of Us Part 1 remake that came out on the PS5. I did play it all the way through on stream on my Twitch channel. If you're curious, I'm going to be back, I swear, early in the
It's on the list.
It's on the list of things to do early in the year, but look forward to that Monday, Tuesdays. The link's down below in this podcast description. But yeah, I played that through my stream event, or just on my weekly streams, I guess. And yeah, I still liked the game. I wasn't like crazy about it as I was the first time I played it back on the PS3. I think a lot of it did. The reason why, because I felt that way, was just because I kind of knew what the big story beats. I still remembered them, and I was just kind of waiting and anticipating them. And so when they happened, I was like, oh, cool. It's the moment I remember is cool. Mm-hmm. It's here. It's happening. But like I wasn't like surprised or shocked or this or that, because a lot of that game has to do with like a lot of twists and turns with post-apocalyptic stuff and zombies. Oh, the tape.
And fine tape.
Yes, the beloved tape to make my little shivs. And without shivs in that game, it's tough. It's very tough out there in that world. The Last of Us.
I remember doing that. You had to have a lot of shivs, yeah.
A lot of crafting and scavenging the areas looking for little things, especially that tape.
Yeah.
But overall, I think the characters still, they survived the test of time. I think a lot of the technology that was used in the game, it's neat to see it, they've grown upon, those mechanics, the systems, the motion capturing, the voice acting, because a lot of those things, I felt like that was one of the few games that really pushed that kind of like focusing on narrative and this and that.
Yeah.
And, because now these days it feels like open world and choices and options, but The Last of Us is very, beginning, middle, end kind of storytelling video game. Mm-hmm. So I still like those kind of games a lot. So it was nice going back to it. And it's kind of funny because if you asked me, if you put like footage of this game, I would have been like, yeah, it's the PS3 version. And clearly it's definitely not. But, apparently your mind, misremembers things and makes them a lot cleaner and HD them up a little bit more, right? But yeah, I thought it was still a really fun and simple game, or a game that lives up to the hype. And so it's good to see that it still lives up to the hope and dreams of my imagination and past history of it. And I even bought the upgrade. Well, it's $10. Hard to say no, $10 for the Part 2 PS5 edition that came out if you had the PS4 edition. So who knows? Maybe that'll sneak on the list next year on the list. You never know. But yeah, for those reasons, that's why I couldn't put down. The Last of Us Part 1 was memorable in 2024 for me. So let's go to Miles. Let's go across the way here to Miles and ask him, what is your number 5 game this year, brother?
Number 5 for me. I was almost a little similar as you, but I did play probably a little bit more games because I was down with VR and does a couple things over the year. But my number 5, I think I talked before. You know, it's probably no shock to anyone on listen to this podcast. Mario and Luigi Brothership.
Oh, still made the cut.
I am shocked.
But nope, because until you get to the drop off, for the most part, I was surprised how Mario Luigi the game was. Despite a lot of games when they come back after a long time, usually they forget the mechanics are, they forget what the game is. Like it's like no, remember like Paper Mario and the Origami King, which like sort of or no, the sticker star, we're like, oh look, there's new Paper Mario, like no. But like that's how after a couple of years, like here's a new one. I can't wait for exciting new one. You play the game, it's bad. This one actually, it's Mario Luigi again, for better for worse. Wasn't actually doing anything new, but it did well enough despite it was moving to a 3D space. A lot of it made all the sounds, beeps and bops of that the Mario Luigi games do. I was worried like they're going to start talking or start kind of remind me of Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts, in which we did nobody made fun of man, we're not talking like who talks like that, and things like a lot of they got rid of all the talking, all the
right.
No, and I do like the fact they did for much they talk Italian gibberish.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
But overall the game, I do like the quality of the of the story for the most part. The brother attacks still pretty the same, though there's a little bit of challenge here, not too much challenge, but there is you can't just obviously if if you are a seasoned veteran like I am, you know what to do, I guess. But there's enough challenge here that's not totally like I guess it overall it's a lot better than I thought it was going to be. But if I had to pick based on that amount of fun I had playing it,
the first half of the game, or at least up to the point
when I saw
it's so good that you could overlook maybe the ending.
Yeah.
Okay, I get you now. All righty then. There's your number 5. Let's go over to Andy. Andy, what's making the top 5 for you this year? I did that last episode. I kept seeing season versus a year.
Yeah, I mean, season, year, whatever.
I mean, your argument for Andy would be a season because Andy was in there for once or twice this year.
That's it for winter.
So, I mean, I guess it's obvious about me is I like to kind of go back to old games, especially. I mean, I like to do that about a lot of things, like any sort of like movie or something that's like old.
Die Hard.
Everyone likes it. What's the deal? Let me try it out. So I always like to do that for most things that I enjoy, particularly consoles that I missed because I was not on the Super Nintendo a lot. Hence why I did like Earthbound last year. So I tried another. Actually, I am currently playing another Super Nintendo game that I'd never played, which is Super Mario World 2: Yoshi's Island. That's number 5 on my list this year. You were not expecting that at all?
He has bingo board.
I don't know if I'm more surprised that it's making number 5 or the fact you've never played the game.
Well, so I guess the funny thing with this game is that my frame of reference to this sort of game has always been or this style of game has always been Yoshi's Story. So that was like Yoshi's Story was like one of the first.
Yoshi's Story's not good.
No, that's the thing. No, yeah, exactly. Like I think I remember because Yoshi's Story I played as a kid, and like that was like one of my earliest kid memories with the N64. It's a very early and I have a very fond memory of it, and I was replaying it when the Switch came back, and I'm like, this game sucks.
Yeah,
I was like, I don't like this game at all. Like the whole. What you're doing in that game is just like you're collecting the fruits and then you're fighting a boss and then you're collecting the fruits and you're fighting a boss. It's so stupid. But yeah, I mean, there's some good songs. And it looks visually interesting. But however, so I was just kind of curious. I was like, let me just get into this game, and I'm just like blown away by what the mechanics had introduced and how much they stripped it away for Yoshi's Story, because there's so much about like this sort of like this whole system of like, it's basically like, Yoshi goes, he does the jump, he does the hover, he throws the eggs, and that's all the same. But then there's like all these like cool like abilities that you get that aren't in Yoshi's Story that make the game more interesting. I find the Baby Mario dynamic very fun and interesting. I'm like, I don't know why they got rid of this. I actually kind of like it. I think it makes for it feels like, I don't know. It feels like it's stupid to say refreshing for a game that's like 30 years old, but it's not your like standard Mario like system.
This is true. Yeah.
So yeah,
that is true.
And have they done that since then in any like in that way? I mean, maybe they have. But
there was one that was good, and of course now I can't remember because one was good and one was not good.
Well, I think New Yoshi's Story or no, New Yoshi's Island.
I just think
I think that's right.
Like Yoshi on DS was on the side.
Yes, there was one that
there
was not good and one
was.
that was, but I get them
Yeah.
confused.
Okay. Yeah, this is ringing a bell now. Yeah, so but yeah, this is my only frame of reference for that. But yeah, yeah, like it's you know, it just feels like as like a Nintendo freak like I am, like I can't hide it. I love all these games. They're so good, especially like the Super Nintendo era that I completely missed. So I'm like really trying to like just rediscover all that stuff, and I was just like and I'm like playing like Grand Theft Auto, like I said, which is ultra violent. So when I want a little
Balance
like
it out.
levity, yeah, when I'm not like running over people and being like,
No.
let's steal your
When
money,
I'm
blood, killing
when I'm not
hookers,
shooting
blood.
people's money.
Yeah, exactly. When I'm not, and then the most violent thing ever, I like to balance it with some Yoshi's Island.
Those sunflowers are so colorful.
And it's just like, yeah, and it's funny. And then when you're like the little, when you're like invincible baby Mario, it's so funny. He's like,
Oh, yeah.
and he's just
Runs
like in
off
his
the cape.
diapers with his cape, and he's
Mhm.
crawling on the walls. It's so
Forgot
funny.
about that, but yeah,
Yeah,
that's how that
and-
works.
And there's like just it's got good music, and visually it still looks like really nice. It's just like it's just a pleasant looking game for.
It's that was it FX chip or whatever it's
The
called?
special,
Yeah,
the
right,
special
yeah.
FX chip.
There you go.
But that's what makes I think that's what makes it so special, because I feel like it was like the end of the Super Nintendo's life,
Yeah,
right?
it was, yeah.
So
yeah.
like any game that comes out near the end of a console's life is definitely like going for like they're pushing that hardware to the limit. So it's like a quality game.
true,
I feel
true,
like
true.
I'm still very very early on. I really just kind of got into it, but like right away I was just like I like this. I was like I'm into it, and I'm gonna beat it.
It's a good game. I remember playing it all the time at fucking Toys R Us. So there you go.
Nice.
It was one that was like, damn you, Nintendo, you're okay, I guess.
Yeah,
as
right?
a Sega fanboy.
Oh yeah, that was like the time that you weren't allowed to like Mario.
No, you just couldn't. You just couldn't. Wasn't allowed on the playground.
That's so
Yeah,
funny.
yeah. That's how
The console wars, we drew lines, all right? We drew lines.
And once you're there, you can't get out of there.
Alrighty then. So now it's time for Frank. Frank, you're the last up. Frank, what do we have for number 5?
Oh, first of all, if that's a Mario game, that's definitely my favorite Mario game.
Oh, there you
Oh
go.
really?
Yes.
I believe it.
Nice.
Yeah, I kind of have the same problem you did, where not that many games, and so I had to tweak the rules because just to fit in games in there.
Right.
Yeah, because this game, I don't know if I should even qualify. I am, but I didn't finish it.
No, that's
So
fine.
I feel terrible about that, but I did enjoy it a lot, especially in the beginning. It's Tales of Arise.
Oh, yeah.
Tales of what?
Tales of Arise. And
The newest of the
I
tales.
remember when I first played it, it was just everything was so pretty and
There was a lot of love. A lot of
squeaky
love.
clean and learning skills and all that. And the story was cool, and the story's still cool. It's just I did get tired of the gameplay. I kind of like probably trained too much, so at
Mhm.
the end I felt like I was just fighting a bunch of the same monsters over and over again. And so I'm curious to finish it. I gotta finish it. I just I've been stuck on other stuff, but I feel bad because I didn't finish it. So I just like I kind of, but it was a large portion of the year where I was playing this, and I was just like that was my whole life. So so I think that in itself should deserve the spot. I did like that it had like a time skip.
Oh, right. You mentioned that.
so that was
One
cool.
Piece style.
Yeah.
Mm.
That was pretty cool. And it's beautiful. I kind of recommend you play on an easy because I think all Tales games are hard to play.
It can be the little I've dabbled in.
To me, it's just not my type because it's just like too.
It does get repetitive.
You kind of have. I feels like a fighting game,
Mm,
but
yeah.
not the fun part of the fighting game.
Yeah, I
in my
can see
opinion.
that. I can see that.
Because I don't know if you know how much you guys dabble in fighting games, but there's certain things where you have to get the hitbox right,
Yes,
or
mhm.
you know, and then time it so that the combo keeps going. If you don't keep the combo going, then the monster's gonna kick your butt. So that's the part that I'm like, it's a little too hard in this sense. But yeah, that's my number 5.
All right, I do have it. I do want to get to it. Sadly, it's nowhere close to the early parts of the year, if not mid-year, if not later of the year. But it is on the list. I do own it, so I do look forward to it. I'm a little motivation down the line. Alrighty, gentlemen. Number 4. We're at our number 4 pick of the year, and I'll start us off again. My number 4 pick is a title we talked about a few times on this podcast, and in fact, someone might have brought it up earlier this episode of the podcast. And my number 4 pick is The Legend of Zelda: Echoes of Wisdom. It does have its flaws. We mentioned before on this exact podcast episode. But for the shorts it does have, there's a lot of good things it's got going on that I liked about it. And I mentioned before, the fact that we have a Zelda game starring Zelda is already like a big victory and a win for me. So I was happy to see Nintendo finally make that jump and leap after all these years. Kind of sad when you think about why it took so long to get there, but it's finally happening, so that's a good thing. I did enjoy the puzzle solving early on, where it did seem like the mechanics were more designed around those first 3 dungeons a little bit. And so I think the first half of the game is a lot stronger than the second half game.
I
So
can feel that.
I do have better memories about that part of the game versus the later half. And I did mention before on our spoiler talk I thought it was interesting the 2 seconds that you play with Link, I guess, as a co-op thing, I thought is a cool idea that they didn't really utilize enough, and I think has a lot of potential to do in a sequel game or successor game to that concept.
Yeah.
Where you go on different adventures and you can hang out with a Goron, you can hang out with a Zora, and do partnership things and this and that. Maybe on like Kingdom Hearts style or something like that, right? Have a little bit more
They kind
adventure.
of did a little bit of Wind Waker for a hot second there.
Oh yes.
Yeah, with the 2 stages, when you're like, because they have different mechanics than Link does to do certain things.
Right. So yeah, doing stuff like that I think would be more better and really, like I said, involve the current, because like it's just proof of concept. But I think there's enough here to build upon and make something even better. Like right now it was good. I mean, it's number 4, right? But we could get to number 2, gentlemen. I think we could maybe even number 1 if we really work our hard butts off. We can maybe get Echoes of Wisdom there and a successor down the line. And yeah, I just think it was good to see the old school Zelda come back in a little bit different, new fashion, a new twist. And if we had a little bit more focus, a little bit editing. I do like the puzzles. The puzzle solving I think is really cool, and there's multiple ways to solve the same problem. So that's a very cool concept that hopefully, like I said, they'll build upon, and that's why I would recommend checking out that game if you are a Switch holder, and why it makes number 4 on this year's list. So let's see here, unless anyone has Echoes of Wisdom thoughts they want to toss in, unless they're saving it maybe for later on as well, potentially.
I'll say for like right now, because my next one was also.
Oh wow!
Oh, well, there you go.
Well, that worked out.
because like you said, right? It for all the things it does, kind of half-assed. There is some sense of like there's actually trying to do something unique. Like most Zelda games now are trying to do other things other than your traditional Zelda dungeons. They're actually dungeons for one, and the fact that, like you said, the beginning ones were very, you had to think outside the box. You can't just go like, you only have so much energy at the time to be Link or Link Power or whatever you called it. Then you have to be more strategic, kind of like how to get over this cavern using just beds.
A lot of beds.
Beds are very powerful. But I think, like you said, it's like if you edit just a little bit here and made less items, maybe, not to able to heal myself forever. More puzzle solving than combat, because I feel like they try to do it like they were too busy trying to add like being puzzle game, but also it's a Zelda game, so you have to have.
They were too scared to walk away from the formula.
Some form of Link fighting, it's kind of like a Yakuza game, like there's this character, but we really like this character, so he's still here, but shouldn't he be gone by now?
They keep bringing him back.
But like, shouldn't he be retired by now? Nah, but he's here for one more round. But like you said, the fact that we actually broke ground, kind of like the Princess Peach game, which I wanted to play. We broke ground. Actually, other characters can be the main. A lot more female characters be more main character of their own games. It's just like you got to get through. Unfortunately, a lot of Japanese society norms to finally get there. But that's why it's number 4 for me as well.
Alrighty then. So back to Andy's turn. Andy, what do we have this time around?
Andy. So I'm gonna sing the Super Nintendo's praises again.
One time.
But I guess in a sort of a high definition way is Super Mario RPG. I played the remaster, the HD update, whatever you want to call it. I think they came out this year. Was that this year?
I think that was late
last year. Well, yeah,
maybe.
okay. I played that this year.
On the list.
Yeah. But yeah, I made a number 4. And I guess almost kind of like the same argument with like the last game. With the Oshi's Island. It's like how much, because that was also like that was even later in its life. It's like I think that was like 1996. So it was about like it was like the SNES was dead by then practically. Like Super Mario 64 is around the corner, but.
Right. Here he comes.
But yeah, no, I really like it, and you know, there's so much going for it. Like other than like the fact that it's like sort of like it almost feels like it set the groundwork for like what all Mario RPGs are like now, like Mario and Luigi and Paper Mario and everything.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that's like the true foundation. So like it has a lot of that like, you know, charm, a lot of the humor. It's a really nice and the HD update like looks really nice. Like it's very a pleasant game to play. I love that there's the options of like the music. You want to do the old music or the new music.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, and I think there's like something special about like the uniqueness, particularly with the characters of that game that are like really like kind of like specific to that game and only that game, which sort of like makes it. And I guess that sort of goes back to the Square Enix of it all, I suppose.
Wow.
You mean Squaresoft?
Or whatever, Square. Like, you know, the cloud character. Or the frog character who's actually a cloud. It's like I remember that was very confusing to me for a while. And then, yeah, just like I remember the cool Yoshi. I remember when I was a kid and I was like, ooh, what's that cool Yoshi? I want to see that cool Yoshi.
Cool Yoshi.
Yeah. And, but no, yeah, it was a good game. I sort of wish that was like my very, very first Mario RPG because I do like Paper Mario was really the first one I played. And I feel like this is sort of like, it would have been like so cool to discover this game as a lot younger a person because I think I would have appreciated it more because it would have been more like I think it's a very good introduction to RPGs like in general because it's not like super difficult and it's pretty like easy to get into and I didn't think the challenges were like overwhelming and there's like these interesting like, you know, the side missions where you're going down like the waterfall. It's just some like fun random things to do in the game. But yeah, I guess I don't have like a whole lot. I mean, it's kind of just like speaks for itself. It's like there's not really like a ton to mention. But I guess I was thinking about like why do I have this on the list and not Zelda? And I think for me, this is just me personally. This is just my how I feel about it. It's
Hot
like,
takes.
Hot takes is I feel like after finishing the game, and this is purely what I'm basing it on, having beaten both those games. Because there's like extra content in them that I know I missed in both of them, I would much rather go explore RPG more rather than go back to Echoes of Wisdom more.
I can see that.
That's how I feel about that. Because whether or not they contribute to like an end game goal or whatever,
Right.
I just think it's a much more interesting experience in Mario RPG. Like the characters are more lively and you're gonna like get like, oh, like, ooh, what's this like weird thing that I don't know about? Versus like Echoes of Wisdom, you're like, all right, you found it. 5 grapes. Here are 5 more grapes.
Did you get every smoothie, Andy?
Yeah. Oh,
Here's to Mighty Crystals. Good luck with that. How many you need? How do you upgrade this? You need 30.
Did you pick up that rock in that corner? Because that's where it's hiding.
Yeah. But yeah, no, that's all I got to say about that game. That's number 3 for me.
Number
3 or
3.
4?
Oh, wow.
Whoa.
Or sorry, 4.
was gonna
Number
say,
4.
wow.
Woo!
Did I
The poor
know-
audio. What? No. Shit, I gotta go back. What did I miss? All right. So Frank's got to be happy with at least that pick with Super Mario RPG. But Frank, what's your?
Yeah, I want to play that game.
There you go.
Oh, you never played it?
No, I haven't.
Wait, what?
I haven't played it.
Oh,
Wait,
wow.
Wow.
What?
We found.
I'm blowing my mind out here.
Ladies and
Frank.
gentlemen, we found a game that
A JRPG that Frank
has
hasn't
not played.
played?
Wow.
Wow.
That's wow.
Well, you know how I feel about Mario.
This is true, but it's RPG.
You don't like Mario? What's wrong with Mario?
Oh, we don't want to go down that hole.
There's no time for that. No time for that.
Okay, fair enough.
Well, all right. Well, now you can add it to your
Mario
list.
is one of the Fabios from Die Hard.
Like our
He's in the
stash.
movie, but he's just meh.
He's gotta go. He's gotta
That's
go.
So funny. All right.
So number 4 for me, I had trouble. So I mostly picked it because I enjoyed it a lot, and I was just like, you know, you go to bed and then you're thinking like, oh, I want to play more. And then
That's a good sign. That's a good sign.
It's just like I want to collect this and that, but it was hard for me to pick it because technically I didn't finish it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's Castlevania,
Oh.
the one that has the 3
All of
games.
them?
No,
That's
not all of them.
cheating, Frank. You can only pick one. No, I'm just joking.
No, but
It's a
no.
good collection. It's a good collection.
Yeah, and I went like 1.5.
1.5?
Yeah.
Because there's 3 of them, no?
Yeah, so I finished the first one and then
Dawn of Sorrow, right? Is that the first one?
Oh, the GBA ones? Is that
yeah,
what
yeah,
they're-
yeah.
Okay.
The newest one that came out, and it's just I had a lot of fun playing it. Just had a lot of fun collecting the sword. I could have finished the game a long time ago, but I was just going around hunting monsters.
100%.
Not really to get 100%. I just wanted to see the next upgrade of the sword. I'm like, what does this sword turn into?
Let's find out.
And it's just because I was already strong enough, but it was just like, but I don't have this one. Let me go.
Let's just double check. You know,
Hunt this eyeball for 100 times and then see if it gives me the soul.
Very remember that.
So just pure enjoyment. I put it in there, and even though I kind of feel like it shouldn't be in there because one, I didn't finish it. Two, it's an old game.
Wait, Dawn of Sorrow then mostly? Is that the one?
Yeah, the one with the Soma.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's what it says. Yeah.
But part 2 of that one. That's all I gotta say. It was just fun to play it. It's a Castlevania game. You know, if you've played it, you know it, and you know.
Well, do I have
those
to
are
do to
my
get a
kind-
new one, by the way?
kind of games.
You got was it Bloodstain? Right.
Oh yeah, I guess that's our equivalent, eh? Oh, Konami.
Wait, Konami dropped the ball. What?
Too late. What about the gotchas though? At least we got Silent Hill 2?
Somehow.
Still curious to play it, I guess.
Well, what monkey paw did we pull in that one?
Yeah, I don't know. Alrighty then.
There you go. No, yeah. I was gonna say go ahead.
All right, well then I will steal the microphone and talk about my number 3 pick this year. It is a not a brand new game, but at least it's not as old as the Super Nintendo, feeling a little bit better about that. This is a game that I don't even know when it came out, probably a decade ago now, because it was in early access for a long time. I heard a lot of good things about it. I purchased it way back in the day, completely forgot about it, but finally this year I picked it up and played some of it on stream, even beat it the first round, if you will, quotation marks. This is a game called Hades that that is pretty popular and pretty well known, I think, at this point. But yes, like I said, I haven't touched it till this year. And I was kind of curious because the little thing I knew about the game was the fact is you keep playing the thing over and over again and you kind of slowly level up. Which to my head, I'm like, I don't know if that sounds like a thing I'm really into, right? But also I kind of like RPGs, and that's kind of what you do in RPGs. You grind up and level up and, new stats and this and that. But so I played it, and I was surprised by the, I guess, addicting gameplay it can be of like, oh, this round I got to this far, or I got this power, and it's like, oh, I know what I messed up. Oh, let me do it again. I can get there again. You just want to keep going. You want to go right back into the action and fix your mistake you did in your last run. And so it does become a pretty fun, addicting loop, or at least I found it to be. And then the other surprising thing, as a narrative-focused person, I actually was surprised that there's a decent amount of story happening in this game. A lot of dialogue, a lot of voice acting, and very well done both on those fronts. And you want to see what's at the end of escaping the underworld, right? And that's as far as I got, but apparently there's more to come that I haven't tackled yet, so I technically didn't finish the game, but I did like the loop enough to like it number 3, and I am curious to go back to it, but part of me is just like, I guess I need some. I know Frank's trying to tease me because I know Frank's been talking about it more recently on the podcast, and I'm still tempted to go back to it. But I feel like I need to put it on my Steam Deck or something.
Oh, so it's like you lie down before bed or something.
Yeah, because right now I have it on. I think I have it on the Epic Game Store, so you have to put that on on the Windows PC and do that. And I'm just kind of like, it sounds like too much work when I'd rather be doing this or doing that.
Yeah.
But if I had it on the Steam Deck and I had it on the go, it's like, well, it's in my hands.
Right.
Well, the Steam sales is on right now.
There you go. So I'm kind of tempted to, but then of course I don't want to start over from my save file.
Yeah.
I did think
22, man.
I know, but I think there's a way where I think you could just drop your save file and then play it on Steam.
Well, how many hours do you have in it?
That's a good question.
I feel like once you go past like 3, it's like you gotta just go.
I probably
or no,
at least 10.
10. Oh, that's too much.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
That's probably something like that because I did play it for a few weeks on stream and then I played a little bit more off stream. And boy, that final fight, the first time I was like, whew, I was sweating there. Your father's a son of a bitch, let me tell you. But yes, Hades, it turns out another game, another thing that lives up to the hype. So maybe consider checking it out, and maybe I'll go back to it in 2025. But you never know. We'll see what happens.
Do you wish you had it on the Switch almost?
I kind of wish I did have it on the Switch, but part of me feels like it's going to chug on the Switch.
Oh.
I just have like no confidence in that hardware anymore.
That's fair. That's the
problem. If it's not a first-party Nintendo game, I'm like, is it on Steam now?
Yeah,
Now that I'm spoiled with my Steam Deck, it's hard to go back.
Well, the name of the
man.
Switch now, the Switch is now pretty much. Can I play a remastered version of this game that they put out on this thing?
Yeah.
That's pretty much what I treat it as.
Yeah.
And with that, I conclude my third pick for the year. So, Miles, it's your turn, my friend. What do we
All
got?
right, we're gonna do a little different around here. We're actually gonna talk about a PC game this time around.
Ooh.
It was hard because I had to choose one or the other. One was a VR game, one was a PC game, but I like the PC one a little bit more because I like puns. Of course, I'm talking about What the Car.
Oh, yes, you did
What the
mention
car?
this before.
Yeah, What the Car. What the Car. This is the most funniest game I think I played this whole year. So basically, there's just a game is it's by people made What the Golf. You know,
Oh. I love What the Golf.
So this is basically a sequel. It used to be on Apple Arcade for a year, and if I went on PC like earlier this year. So of course it was on sale. Like, well, gotta go back and see what this is about.
Oh, I want to play this now.
So the basic
Oh my god.
So basically, this is you play as a car and you have to get to the goal. Now, how you get to that goal can be weird in a lot of different things. You could start growing feet and you could just run toward the goal. You could also jump around with a spring and get to the door. You could go through the goal, try to get the goal get to you. You know, it's a grab bag of just like what's the theme of the level and what I have to do to pass this section of this level part. But you know, I have fun playing it. You know, I played through most of the content, and there's always new content. There's always like seasonal level packs. So if you go through all the main game, there's always like a seasonal pack that changes every couple months. So you can just keep playing like some weird random.
You have to pay for that?
No, it's all free.
That's surprising.
Why is it? Because you know, the neat about the PC version, because that What the Golf also, is that you could also make levels. You know, that's in you. So you know, if you want, you can make. Especially What the Car is more built for that. You can make your own levels and share with your folks, friends and family. It's like, hey, play this level I tried with this. And you got to do this to get there. You know, it was one of the unique things they were very adamant about when, especially on the PC releases of these two games, that you can make your own levels.
Oh, that's cool.
But like I said, it's funny. It's you get to do a lot of silly things with cars.
Yeah. It's pretty similar to what the golf and like.
Yeah, because What the Golf's humor kind of in a way.
But
it's always like some.
Yeah, but you're trying to get to the end, like What the Golf obviously, like you want to get the golf in the hole, but like this game is like get to the end of the road essentially.
Yeah,
like,
get to the end of the road, but no, it depends what you do.
Yeah, you might be a bouncing ball. Your car will turn into a bouncing ball, right?
Yeah.
To bounce to the end. Yeah.
You know, also now you're on roller derby, and then you have to have to ski your way through.
Yeah.
A level. Like I said, it's every section level is unique, and I said it's a very very funny game.
Yeah. No, I love. Did any of you play Did you play What the Golf?
Oh yeah, I played it when it came out. I bought it on the phone.
Yeah, I had it on the phone.
I bought it on the PC when it came out on PC. You know, I even have What the Bat, but What the Bat didn't make it this year.
Tough times.
But so every time it's like, oh, I gotta see how this goes.
They're fun. Oh man, I'm very very interested. I didn't know that existed. I really liked What the Golf. That was fun. That sounds fun.
And it's funny because even other newer games make fun of or they make references back to What the Golf. So it's funny. If you know the lore.
You're right. What the golf lore.
You go like you appreciate a little bit more.
Yeah. Oh, that's dope. That's so cool.
That's why it's number 3 for me this year.
Nice.
Well, there you go. A little surprise for
I
Andy
like that.
and
I like
hopefully our
that.
listeners.
Yeah.
Okay, breaks.
Speaking of Andy, it's your turn.
Yeah. So I feel bad about my third one almost.
Super Mario World.
No, I was making up my list, and I almost feel guilty
Super
about
Mario
this.
Brothers 1.
And you're probably gonna be disappointed. I've mentioned this one before. It's almost like a drug. It's like it's not even like these other games are like food. It's like this is good food. This is like sugar, like not good for you sugar. It's like a Hostess.
Pass on hot Cheetos, Andy.
It's Star Wars.
Joker?
Star Wars. Yeah, Star Wars Hunters. Star Wars Hunters. So it is the Overwatch. It's Star Wars Overwatch or the Marvel's new Marvel game, what have you, whatever.
Oh yeah, that came out too.
That's another good one.
Hero shooters.
It's hero shooter, dime a dozen. Slap Star Wars on it and call me addicted because I obviously Star Wars is hit or miss these days. Let's not beat around the bush and say everything Star Wars is good.
It's great.
A lot of Star Wars shit out there.
I love that last movie.
Yeah, I love like 4 of the movies now. Well, okay, maybe not 4, but maybe just 2. But yeah, I think it's just I'm just such a sucker for being in the world, and like it is actually kind of fun. I think I guess partially because like I was playing it a little bit with my family, but I was playing it by myself a lot too. I was just really like just enjoying like the characters. I don't know. I think they did a good job with just like finding the right kind of fighting style for certain characters in the game. It's like, this is what the Wookiee does, and it's like, oh yeah, like I feel like, it's like this feels like very like they did a good job like of like creating this like dynamic, whereas like you can, this is how the Wookiee would fight, this is how this would feel in this like this kind of character in this game situation. I mean, it's not a perfect game at all. I mean, going back to like the addiction thing, I think it's a lot of that stupid like, how like it's just like the bright colors. Click, it's very like kind of like slot machine almost. It's like click this like nice thing, and it's like a satisfying like ooh, you got free money,
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh, but there's deals now, and it's like if you spend this many crystals now,
I know that feeling.
and you can get this.
I know that feeling too well.
It comes for us all.
Something like that. That was the game I spent the money on. I mean, we all have that game that we've spent money on, and that's that game for me. I spent money on it. That's
welcome.
Welcome
to
well, that was
ominous.
That was that was a while ago. I mean, I feel like it was just. I think it's just so high on this list, partially because it's probably maybe not the game I played the most, but it's definitely second or third. It still suffers from the problem of like if you're on a bad team, because I play by myself mostly, like you're fucked. Like it's like you can't make your shitty idle AFK teammate do anything. You're like, I lost.
Stupid Yoda.
Yeah, this is over. I'm screwed now.
This is it. I'll just start here.
Or vice versa, and you're like, this is not fair. Like we're just destroying them for no reason. But yeah, I guess it really just comes down to just like the Star Wars in me that's been there since I was a baby boy.
Star Wars in you this whole time.
Yeah, the Star Wars that
you're just a youngling deep down, Andy.
Yeah, I mean, if they keep on, if they put out that, well, you know how I feel about Andor. So if they keep on putting out Andors, and then they making quality content, then I'll stick along. But
well, I mean, the skeleton
then you get your fucking Obi-Wans along the way, and you're like, oh.
Well, that should have been a movie.
Sorry, I'm shining my light right now.
He's so excited.
Yeah. His light's on.
New notification update on Star Wars Hunters.
I'm not playing right now.
Fuck. One's mobile edition.
I do know that it's on PC now. So now
it's I think in a month it's gonna be like, or is it already? I know they are putting it. If it's already on PC, then yeah. But I know that it's also going to be on something else soon. Yeah. Maybe it's
because it's just Switch.
It's Switch and phone now, which is so weird. It's
also, it is on phone.
Yeah, that's crazy. That was primarily how I played it.
Oh no!
So, yeah, I know. And then after a while,
all right, I'm not that bad. Okay, I feel better about myself. Feel better about myself.
After a while, my family was like,
on an iPad. So
my family was like, "What are you doing?" Like, I was like, "I know it's too late." But now I
can't stop.
Now I just play on both of them. Although I haven't been playing as much lately, but it's the ultimate like
stupid Christmas.
It's like the veg out thing for me. Like I'll be like after work and it's like, oh, like dinner's not ready yet. Okay, well then I'll just
got a little time.
I'll do this for 20 minutes. But yeah, that's
how they get you.
That's my 3 is a little bit of crack cocaine. Not a pleasant thing to talk about.
Don't look at me, but it's pretty good.
But
so
I enjoy myself a Star Wars Hunter battle or two, and that's my number 3.
Once again, welcome to the Addiction Anonymous. Just can't stop ourselves.
I had to buy the Battle Pass because look at the cool sticker they give you in the Battle Pass.
If I don't, I'm there. It's limited time only. Gotta get that Christmas skin. Alrighty, Frank. What are we addicted to in our choice this round, Frank?
So this one, if I was basing it off of new games, this would be my number 1.
Okay.
So this is Rebirth.
The Final Fantasies.
Yeah. So to me it was the best new game that I played this year.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of a low bar this year. So I mean, spoiler. I like Zelda and it didn't make my list.
Ouch.
So
wow, we both
it's just the second half kind of like
100%. I totally agree.
But this one I enjoyed it a lot. I think it was just it would have been higher, but it was a little too hard for me. It was a little too complicated when I don't think it should have been.
I can see that.
And I thought they were cowards. I thought they were cowards in certain story parts where like, come on, just
do it.
Yeah.
That's true. I can see that as well.
But having said that, I did enjoy it a lot. I did like even though I'm not really a fan of like making every game like, oh, this is, final boss, and then again part 2 final boss again. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because it's not the end. It's the middle of the game.
There's one more game coming.
Yeah. So, but it was cool because I did go through the ending a couple of times. And just this like third time, I was like, hey, this is a pretty cool fight because you're falling down and then like all the characters are around you, and then like you go from battle to battle, and then
a lot of fighting.
I think it looks nice, even though I'm not happy with the expanded, zoomed out view. I do think it was really cool, and it's still Final Fantasy VII. The story is still good. So yeah, it's just probably, if we're basing it for me from new games, it's probably the best new game that I played.
It was the big game of the year, definitely one of the top 5 big games of the year.
It was also the longest game of the year too.
We talked about him thoroughly on the podcast. So if you want to hear more thoughts, you can go check out those episodes down below.
That makes my number 3. But I feel a little nervous about my 1 and 2.
No? All right. I'm kind of curious now.
Are you more nervous than I was about my 3, you think?
Yeah, because I feel like I'm cheating with 1 and 2. And but my list, I'm just putting it as what I enjoyed the most.
Right. That's fair enough. That works too. All right, gentlemen, we're getting there. Now we're at our penultimate choice at number 2 here. Mm-hmm. And I guess it's only fitting that my number 2 pick sounds something similar like to Andy's number 3 pick. Because it's
your crack.
It is crack. It is crack. I'm addicted. I just can't stop.
I'm addicted to love.
I'm so addicted. I had to buy my bad waifu anime skin for it.
Yeah.
And so coming in number 2 this year is not yet 2025. Look forward to that. But no, this year it is Call of Duty Black Ops 6.
Wow.
It just came out at the end of the year in, I think, November, if I remember right.
At a price of $0
But as I mentioned before earlier in this episode of the podcast, it's been the game I've been recently playing the last month or two. I got a free, hour. It's hard for me because when I like to game, it's like, oh, I got like the next 2-3 hours free, and I can sit down and play some JRPG or something long and really get into the story, the characters, this and that. In Call of Duty, none of that shit. Here's a gun, go shoot someone. All right, I can do that in an hour, right?
See that guy? Shoot him.
Yeah, all right, I can do that, boss. And so that's what it is. It's the quick in and out gameplay.
It's like a little girl. Go ahead, do crying. Okay.
Yeah. And as I think I might have mentioned before some point at the podcast that when like Modern Warfare came out back in the day, even the original one and the remastered remake version, I got addicted to the multiplayer back then. So this isn't too shocking, but it's been a while since I played like the War Zones and all the other Call of Duties in recent years. But because I signed up for Game Pass and it's part now that they bought Activision, you can play the Call of Duty that way, and that's how I got into it. And of course, it's like, well, since I didn't buy the game, you have a free money to buy the battle pass and my goofy anime skin and this and that. So I'm saving money.
We'll get your money other ways.
So yeah, it's literally a game I was already paying for. I guess you could look at it, or I'm paying nothing for a real fucked up way to think about it, but you could think of it that way if you really want to make yourself feel good. But yeah, it's just quick in and out. I haven't touched the campaign. I haven't really done the zombies. I haven't touched Warzone. I'm just strictly playing the multiplayer aspect. You're in, you're out, couple matches. You level up the guns, you get the new attachments, you kill a little faster, a little stronger. You can do goofy little emotes. You're working on the battle pass, so it feels like you're leveling up despite you're kind of doing the same thing over and over and over again.
But you're feeling it's called dopamine. You get dopamine rush.
And yeah, that's what it is. It's quick, and like in Black Ops is, from people who are familiar with the franchise, Black Ops tends to be the more quicker, faster gameplay versus the other ones, and you get that in this one. You're just literally dive, max pain, jumping all over the place. Don't slow down time, but you're leaping over the place if you want to, trying to do cool shit. Once in a while, you look cool and get that cool headshot. Sometimes you look like a dork on the floor and they shoot you like the dog you are, and you deserve it.
The replay, that was stupid. Yeah.
So it's a bit of a 50-50 shot, but sometimes you just want to go for it because you're like, I'm pretty sure that guy's around the corner. I'm going to get the jump on him. And then he gets a jump on you, and it doesn't work out in your favor. But welcome to Call of Duty, and Black Ops 6, it's a good place to start. And if you got Game Pass and you kind of want a quick in and out shooter thingamabob, it's a good Call of Duty this year, so
yeah,
I recommend it.
Hope you have space.
Yes, it does take up space because Activision, the programming, but it's because it's all connected because you just download the Call of Duty app, and then inside Call of Duty you download what game or mode you really want to play. So it is a storage eater, so buy big storage. My suggestion to you. But yes, that is my number 2 pick this year is Black Ops and
I was
number 6.
not expecting that.
Me neither.
I wasn't either until I really looked at the list and went, fuck.
Like that's how you feel.
That's how it
It's
is.
the game that I just keep going back to.
Yeah.
And I think I'm going to keep going for at least another month until the battle pass is complete or season 1's complete. Let's see which happens
Or
first.
I'm complete. One or the other.
Yeah, on the wall it definitely is going to be. All right, so Miles,
Crack isn't accurate description.
what's
right,
what's your drug of choice?
Let's see. So we're talking about crack here. So my number 2 pick is a game I play probably the most of the year, and like just like Call of Duty, you could play it and you could just never stop playing. But good thing I'm off that habit.
DCC?
Not there yet, Frank. But the second game,
Number 1.
So this is the generic version, not the real good stuff. Is Balatro. That's right, everyone. Balatro. See, I got this right, Del Rey. I got this right.
The one that plays like poker.
It's okay.
I heard this is good. I've heard about this.
A deck builder game with poker-like rules.
That's a little bit more accurate.
And there we go.
Because I did look it up because he brought it up and I'm like, I've never heard this game. I did some research and I'm like, wow, this is like 5-hand poker at all.
Yeah.
You make poker hands, that's about it.
Well, the option of the game is you have a deck and you score poker hands to get points to beat blinds to move forward.
But the rules of poker go out the window after a while because like jokers are insanely wild and other rules
the
and
unique
other
thing
things
about
like
the game
that.
is that there are these joker cards, and if you stack the joker cards a certain way, you could get stupid amount of points. Like you have to. Some jokers give you points for having certain cards. Some take away points but give you more like a multiplier instead. It can be very intense. And you have to get the right amount of jokers, in the right certain order, because you can order them in a certain way to maximize your points to move on to beat the game. I only beat the game technically, I think, 4 times.
Only?
I only beat it 4 times.
But I played like numerous runs because I was just keep because the game is a quick hit. Like I didn't make it. Press X and you start over again. You loop back around and do it again until you get there. I usually get around to like the 8th level, and after that, then I choke. It's just that it's a game that you could. I bought it. This is a crazy. I bought it on PC. I bought it on the Switch.
Wow.
I bought it on mobile because the mobile version came out at the end of the year, so you play on mobile to go too now.
Yikes!
Oh my
I'm
god!
gonna have to tune in this podcast, by the way.
Yeah,
Addiction podcast. Video game addicts.
And I said it because it's like when you get the certain amount of cards and you see it, and the points stack up to the point where it flames start coming out of the numbers, it goes on fire, and that's a good hand, isn't
that's a good thing.
Yeah, because it means you score so many points that you're literally
You got a hot hand.
you got a hot hand. I guess
Like Jet Set Radio style.
Ooh, it's on Apple Arcade Plus.
And
I'm getting it right now as we're talking.
There you go.
Dang.
Like I said, once you start. Doesn't worry you, Andy. Once you start, it's getting harder.
Bye, Star Wars Hunter.
Follow in with me next time. Drop in. We'll see how I am.
And now we know it's going to be in 2025's list.
Just it's amazing, and it's funny because even the creator, he said that's the only game I'm making. He doesn't really.
Wow.
He doesn't really want to make it because that's it. He won. It won a lot of awards at the Goofy Game Awards.
I know people.
Goofy Game Awards.
I mean,
that is a funny name.
I'm sorry. The video game ad of 2024. Sorry, my bad.
Oh, okay, that's a bad name.
But I
don't know what you said.
But the fact that for being such a niche indie game, there's been numerous spin-off. Like people are trying like right now, the one I want to try because there's in beta right now is basically the same thing, but is with mahjong tiles and that scoring system.
Oh god.
Kind of like Hades. You keep running. You got to keep running and
what
keep
it
running.
vaguely sounds like to me.
And you got to get a good card. You got to get and you got to unlock a good deck and a good set of jokers. And you watch the numbers pile up. You're waiting for you get the rush of the scoring so good.
It's just that good.
Like I said, it is, and I said it wasn't until I had to play some other games for the podcast. I have to wean this off because every day it's you hop on the couch. All right, let's start a hand. Let's see where we get to today. And it's bad because then it became I think mobile. And people was like Literally, their ads when the mobile version came out, they said like, "Good luck productivity, goodbye productivity. You're not gonna work on your work today. You're gonna play this instead." They had a whole ad that's just like, good luck to your life. That's it's over. That's it. We won. That's it. But yeah, that's why it's number 2.
All right.
All right.
Was not expecting that either.
Hey, guy, it's been a while. I was curious it would make the cut, but I remember he talked about it a while ago and a lot of praise. So I guess he remembers after all.
Yeah. Okay.
All righty, Andy. What is our second choice this year?
So my second choice, kind of also, funny thing is this is also free. It is also on the Apple Arcade Plus. So if you have that, you can also play.
There you go.
My second game of the year, which is Vampire Survivors.
Yeah.
Do you guys know about it? Have you played it?
I played a little when it was on the Game Pass for a hot second. Yeah. But the problem with that game, just like Balacho, it's a lot like you had to keep, just had to keep grinding, and it gets better the more you progress.
Well, yeah, I mean, I guess what do you know?
I have played it, and I need to play more of it. But tease, I literally played it the other day. I fell asleep.
Really? Yeah. Oh wow, interesting.
Yeah.
What is it that you're just like? It's just
you're just walking in in circles half the time for me, and I'm just like, I need more input. I need an attack button.
The scoring though,
I get it. I understand what it's like going for, and like I said, it wasn't like I'm done with this game. It's just more like I literally was playing it and like literally nodding off, and I'm like,
That's
holy
so
shit!
funny.
I've never played a game where I actually fell asleep to, and here it is.
Yeah, well, so
But yes, by all means, go. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no,
I
it's okay.
apologize.
No,
I'm being too brutally honest.
Yeah, no, it's fine. But you don't know what it is, right?
I have no idea.
So I mean, it's hard maybe you can help me describe it too. But it's the game is described as a roguelike shoot 'em up. And I guess another way I would describe it is it's almost like a bullet hell sort of thing.
Vampire what?
Vampire Survivors. So yeah, if you look up like an image, it'll kind of make sense to you. But basically, yeah, you're like, I mean, it looks kind of like an old school, maybe SNES kind of level era graphics, but you're just you're a character that's walking around. Like you're like a 32-bit character walking around on a map, and it's sort of like the map is almost endless. I think it goes on and on and on, and it might even like loop through. But it's just like a never-ending stage where basically you get waves and waves of enemies coming at you, and all the while, like the character you pick comes with like a certain specific ability, and that's like their ability, and you can choose to like upgrade it, and you can also get get abilities of other people that aren't your character by just like picking them up through the maps. And then you basically can stack abilities and then make the abilities stronger, and you level up the abilities. But all the while, like the stages are getting more and more intense. So like the first level is just like a big green field, and like you just start with like a couple bats coming at you, and oh yeah, and then the attacking is all automated. Like you don't like
no input.
Like you said, Ray. Like it's just walking around. Like there's no attack button. You just like move around, and I guess it's like a bullet hell in that way, where like you're trying to avoid enemies,
right?
But you're also trying to like upgrade yourself, because at a certain point, like the enemies are gonna just start hitting you. Like you can't like fight them all off unless you have the right abilities. It depends on what you do, because you can kind of like one of the characters you can play as is basically just has like a shield around them, and so like it's perpetually so you'll start off with the level, bats will come at you, and the shield will just like bounce off of them, but the shield, the early shield only has so much strength, so like bats will like if only so many bats, it can only stop so many bats, and then they'll start hitting you. But you can upgrade it, so then it becomes stronger. But then more enemies will come in, so it's sort of like a never-ending cycle of like getting stronger while more enemies come. But it's very addictive. I find it interesting that you fell asleep, because I think it's very satisfying when you stack the abilities up to a point and you like get past a certain threshold of like you find a certain combination of attacks that basically the screen starts flashing, like you get so strong that the screen starts flashing crazy colors because the attacks are like everything's happening like in a millisecond of like attack, boom 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 boom. It just look like it, like any image or just like a gif of like the strongest like upgrade. It's like insane, like how the map goes, and just like it just like wipes out any enemy in the way. But it's interesting because the game only works in 30-minute increments, so like once you get past like the 30-minute mark, because there's a timer, the Grim Reaper comes, and then he like kills you. Like he'll kill you right away. Like the game will basically stop after 30 minutes all the enemies will disappear, and the Grim Reaper will come and like just like instantly kill you, but you can stop him. Like there is a way to prolong your death. Like, so I found like if there's one ability that you can stack that is like a freezing ability, and I find when I max that and I have everything maxed, the Grim Reaper will come at me, but I can freeze him, so like I can like delay it, so it's like, oh, now it's like 32 minutes, but then the Grim Reaper's still coming at me, and then eventually there's like 5 Grim Reapers trying to kill you, and you can keep going, and there's like 6 Grim Reapers like attacking you, but then I'm still like freezing them. So that's the kind of exciting part to me. It's just like how far can I push this ability set I have? But I get what you're saying about like falling asleep because you're not doing anything. But for me, I'm still thinking a lot. I'm thinking like, which ability should I stack? Like, did I pick the wrong ability? Oh, like I've never done this combination of attack. I've never done, I've never had the crazy like the ones that like where you like summon cats. Like there's one that you can summon cats and like there's like crazy cat ability. There's so many different things that you can do. It's very arcadey, which I kind of like too.
That's true.
It feels like something that you would see at like, if like arcade still existed and they would put that would be something that would be at an arcade, I feel like, which
I can see that.
Which I kind of find appealing. And it's like, there's like so many levels, but there's like so much DLC. They just, I don't know if you guys probably already know that there's a Castlevania DLC.
That's what I'm more interested in.
Yeah, so there's like actually a Castlevania version of the game. So when I found that out, I was like, oh, that's actually sounds kind of
Which
fun.
is hilarious because it's basically doing an legally not Castlevania version.
This game's like Balatros, the same thing, because there's a lot of, even now, more Balatro, there's a lot more
that's true.
other games in Balatro now. Like they do like cross promotions and things like that. But it's basically the same thing. Like it's a dopamine rush, right? It's a dopamine rush. When you see like, ooh, that tactic. Oh, these guys at the same time.
Yeah,
or you get a good combo and like you see all the lights and colors. And,
or you do a certain level and you die, and then you realize the right combination because there's like an enemy that's killing you, and you're like, what if I do this ability? And then you're like, yes, it works, and it's so satisfying. But it's I mean, there's so much packed into that game. Like I know there's like a lot I haven't unlocked. I know there's like so much secrets.
It's a huge thing.
And it's on like everything. Like it's on every platform, I think. You can play it anywhere.
Yep.
But yeah, if you got the Apple Plus Arcade, you can play it on your phone.
Play on the Switch?
It's on the Switch. And it's like, and it's so cheap. It's like $3.
It's really cheap.
It's a cheap game.
I think I bought it on Steam.
I kind of want to play it.
You should play it. It's really fun.
Give it a try.
Just give it a try. Yeah.
Try Balatro 2 while you're at it.
You know what?
Double rush of dopamine.
I'm not really interested in card games too much, but that what the card game does sound fun.
Yeah, no, that actually sounds really dope. I'm probably gonna play that.
I want to play that with my
Oh,
nephew.
is that on the Apple?
That could be fun.
That's on actually on Arcade still.
That's not Apple Arcade?
No, that is. It is.
But I'm gonna get it right now. I'm getting 2 of your recommendations.
But like,
what else is on Apple Arcade?
But like I said, that's what the neat thing is. No, because once a game's on Apple Arcade, you give it like a year and eventually
show up other places.
Exactly, yeah.
I usually bought a lot of like Monument Valley. I bought that.
Oh, Monument Valley's great.
I said Monument Valley 3 because that's a Netflix game now.
That's weird how that works.
I really gotta play
games. There's a lot of games out there.
But
yeah, but that's my number 2 is Vampire Survivors. Highly recommend. I highly recommend Ray try it again.
I want to give it another shot. I might have been tired, to be fair.
My favorite thing to do is like when I'm just like kind of watching. It's the best, and maybe this isn't the best. It's the best when you're just like watching like a show and you're just like
a Frank show.
Yeah, like a show that you're just kind of like, just have it on the background.
Seinfeld,
there
Curb.
You go. Yeah, try it with Seinfeld. Try it with Seinfeld. Let us know how if it
like in the back of the box. Recommend it, Seinfeld.
Yeah, like pairing a wine. Try this game with a nice Seinfeld.
A nice fish and an season 6 of Seinfeld.
Seinfeld with
the puffy shirt. We recommend the puffy shirt.
I just don't know if I should try it on the Switch or my phone.
Well, I try both.
Yeah. I mean, I got into it on the phone. Actually, I haven't even played it on the Switch. I've been like strictly
and just using touch controls, huh?
I just use touch controls.
I hate touch controls.
I almost feel like I stopped worrying and I love the bomb, I guess. You know what I mean?
Some people just want to watch the bar.
Yeah,
some people just want to watch
yeah.
Remember, Ray, though, you can pair your controller to your phone.
See, that's
that too, yeah.
That's either that or the Switch or something else. I can't. Touch controls, no good. No bueno.
But, yeah, that's it for me.
Alrighty. And Frank, that's up to you. You're the last of our second round.
The last of us.
That was number 5. No, damn it.
Well, I guess I'll keep the addiction theme going.
Oh, no.
addiction thing.
Yeah.
I had trouble adding this one because I don't know. I just felt like it didn't qualify this year.
Uh-huh.
But it was a game that I play way too much and probably have a bunch of headaches and my eyesight might have gone.
I think I need glasses now.
It's harmed you physically.
Yeah, I think about it and I'm like, sometimes like, I'm gonna just do like one run and then that's it.
I could quit anytime.
And then I gotta rest. I gotta play an easier game on my eyes. I don't know why, but it's tough on my eyes. Anyways,
well, Vampire Survivors will hurt, by the way. So, FYI.
Warning.
But go ahead.
Well, it's Hades.
Oh, it's also Hades.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And then I kept trying to think about last year. I'm like, did I have it last year? 'Cause if I had it, then I'm like,
I don't want to say you. I don't remember it.
I don't remember him saying it.
No, I remember you talking about it, but not like picking it.
Yeah, I don't think so.
As he talked about while you were playing it.
Yeah,
That was last week
so-
first. So then that'll be this year.
But despite me playing that last year a lot, and I came back to it.
Okay, so it's all relatively. So you didn't play it when it first came out.
No, I didn't.
Okay.
You know what? I've it's kind of like Ross and Rachel. I just keep going back on, off and on.
On and off.
On and off. Yeah,
We're not on a break.
we're on a break because
Stupid.
I was just laughing that you were talking about how you wanted to play on the handheld, like playing on the Switch. I'm like, oh, that helped me. But I played it on my original Switch, and then I stopped, and then I got the new one,
Oh, okay.
and I wanted to play it again, but for some reason it didn't transfer the same data. So I started over, and I was laughing because Andy said 3 hours, and I'm like, oh, I had like 100 hours. And then the funny thing is that I caught myself up, and then I kind of like, okay. And then I played a little bit more, and I gave up. I'm like, okay, now I'm done.
Uh-huh.
But then my brother got into it, and they kind of got me into it. So now, like, I see him playing, and I'm playing on my own Switch, and I'm like, what part are you in? And like,
What level you at?
what power did you get? And so now I'm like on my 4th time playing it. I think when I started up again, it said that I had done 197 runs, and now I'm like in the almost 300.
Oh.
So
lot of runs.
I don't know how many hours it's been, but it's been a lot.
That's a lot of hours.
It's a lot of hours.
It sounds like a lot of 2024 in there.
I think on average every run is like 45 minutes.
Yeah, that
And
sounds
then
about right.
and then it says that like my best run has been 25 minutes.
Damn, that's a run.
And I'm like, wait.
How did
These
that?
runs feel like 5 minutes. And they've been like hour long sessions.
Yeah.
That's
and,
crazy.
And then sometimes I do like 3, and I'm like, I'll tell myself I'll do 1 run before I go to sleep. So yeah, it's so addicting. I feel like they do it right, like, cause it does a good job of kind of like making you feel like you progress, but at the same time you start over every time.
Yeah, huh?
And right now I'm just like
Small little things.
I'm collecting paintings. I'm like collecting different
Decorating your room.
Decorating my menu is gonna look a little different, and it's just dumb stuff. And then trying to upgrade my rank, and I'm like, and my brother's like, "What is this for?" Nothing. Nothing.
Cosmetics.
Yeah. So I don't know. Just it keeps making me come back. I can't.
That's a good
stop.
game,
It's
apparently.
It's the Godfather. It's the.
I'm tempted.
Pull me
I'm
back in.
this close to like starting it. I've just only heard good things.
Yeah.
That's
I mean,
pretty
if you want
good.
life, don't.
You want to see your family and friends.
If you want to see the daylight again, don't.
All right,
Yeah.
maybe I'll wait.
It's just really good. It deserves to be on the list, and why not now?
Yeah,
There you go.
yeah. No, that's
There you
valid.
I mean, I don't like that Ray over here has it also. so-
Sorry, I'm sorry.
Pick your own year.
I'm surprised he was mad I picked it as my number 2.
Same number too. Oh no, is it?
3 for
Oh,
me.
okay.
3 for me.
Well, that's it.
All right. Well, Hades looking very favorable. We'll see here. And it's time for the real showdown here, ladies and gentlemen. The big grand finale.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. Do I have any little honorable mentions I want to sneak in now? I guess one or two would be the what was it? The Persona 3 Reloaded, the remake that came out.
Yeah.
I started this year, had a lot of fun with it, and then I just never got a chance to come back to
Never
it.
came back.
So sadly, it was hard for me to pick it because I only spent maybe 3 or 4 hours on it. But if hopefully this year coming, I'll get a chance to finish it, and there's a very good chance I'll make it since I'm quite the Persona junkie. So look forward to that coming 2025. I guess slightly spoiler. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth didn't make the cut either. My top
What?
5.
No.
But
It made your honorable mention.
it made an honorable mention because I spent a lot of time with it, and it just never went the way I wanted to, and that's why I didn't make the cut. But it's still, it helps if you don't have expectations as an old school person who remembers the original game and has very high and lofty goals and memories of such a game.
Team Tifa for the win.
So if you're
Ray.
fresh to this world, check it out. And yes, Team Tifa all the way, indeed. So yeah, that'd be, I guess, 2 honorable mentions that I had on my list and make the cut. Oh, and the last one, the Dead Space remake. It's, if you haven't played the original Dead Space, you should play this new Dead Space. It's everything the original one did, but also a lot prettier. So
you might have compared their
Spooky.
they canceled the remake.
well, they weren't never gonna make that second game. EA, fuck EA. That's all I'm gonna say. All right, so now we're here for my favorite video game of 2024. It is a title I talked about previously on the podcast.
All right.
It was probably in, my guess would be February-ish time, if I remember right. So pretty early in the year.
Barely remember last month.
Yeah.
Right.
Ain't that the truth? And it is associated to something I just listed. And that game is Final Fantasy VII Remake. The first game.
Wait, I was just like,
I know, surprise.
you fooled me.
Exactly.
Yeah, right?
Frank's like,
Gotcha.
Aha.
Aha.
Frank was like up, and then
I didn't name these things. That's just the name of the damn game.
Hey, I do agree that that one's better.
Yes. But yes, Remake, the first game that expanded the world of Midgard, which makes a lot more sense to do something like that in this reimagining of the Final Fantasy VII world, because you spend like maybe 4 hours in that whole city when you start that game. And so it makes sense to really expand upon that and do a whole dedicated video game on that world. And we get to see all the side characters that are more than just Star Wars references, and they actually become human beings with lives, and you got a sense of what their day-to-day is and this and that. And when things bad might happen to them, you feel actually bad about it because you're like, oh no, this guy, no. You actually know who they are and this and that. And yeah, and you get more characters like Barrett and what Tifa's been doing all that time. And you get interested early on of this remake of what's going to be new, what's going to be different from the original PS1 release. And so I was very excited about that. I had high hopes for it. And finally I got a chance before our discussion about Rebirth. I went back and played Remake for the first time. And yeah, it did everything I was hoping. Like I said, that I have nothing but praise and hype for that first game. It was one of the reasons why I bought a PlayStation 1 at the time. So like I said, very high expectations. And I really felt like that first game did a better job of that, especially compared to Rebirth, because Rebirth, they just kept doing filler shit, and it just wouldn't let the characters and story just flow through, and it just kind of ruined that for me every time. Something good happened, he'd be like, go check out this random cave, Cloud. I'm like, I don't want to check the fucking random cave, all right? I just want to go to the Slot City place, which I can't remember the name of the damn of the place is, and I want to...
Golden Saucer?
Which one? Gold Saucer, that's what it is. The Gold Saucer, yes. And this and that, and it was always something just to slow down and kill the narrative. And the ending, I'm still kind of like rolling my eyes and slightly annoyed with, maybe.
Well, it's a very Kingdom Hearts ending, isn't it, everyone?
That's what it is. And that's the problem, is overall there's always a little too much Nomura Kingdom Hearts nonsense in these games. But the first one is the best one, and hey, Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2 is good, so Final Fantasy VII Remake is also just as good as Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2, so...
Can't wait for Kingdom Hearts 4, everybody.
Yeah, I'm done. I'm just done with that franchise. And I guess still look forward to the third part of this 7 trilogy remaster, reimagine, whatever you want to call it. But that first game is really good and very pretty on the PS5. So that is my favorite game of 2024. Dumped all 100 hours into that one. And almost tempted to go back to level up just because I can. But I'm going to stay away. New Game Plus mode, maybe. We'll see what happens. Alrighty, brother. It is now your turn.
I'm surprised.
Yeah.
I love my Final Fantasy VII. Love my Final Fantasy VII.
Team T for the win, once again.
I mean, come on now. I like a girl to kick my ass. All right, Miles. What do we have for our favorite game of the year?
Before we get there, let's...
All right, honorable mentions.
Honorable mentions time. I have no paper here, but fuck it.
Gotta have a prop.
Yeah.
It's real.
See, yeah, there you go. Are you sure? Or just soundbite you're playing anyway? So I guess out the bat, What the Bat?
There you go.
No, it's a VR game for which you play as 2 bats. You play baseball, but not the right way.
Oh, not bad, like bad.
Yeah,
not like that, man.
No, like, like you paint your way through, or you It's like with the car and with the golf. You know, you're doing a lot of random things with bats. That's the gist of it.
Oh wow.
But it's a neat VR game. So even more so when I got the new MetaQuest 3S. You know, it actually runs. You know, so that was a good one. Star Rail. Despite Star Rail's been like, you know, that's off a cliff. That all my characters, I need to redo everything. So that's
surprised that didn't make the list.
Let's see what else. The Rebirth. It's been too much.
The rebirth.
The Rebirth.
I like
You know,
that.
despite the goofy Queen's
Blade?
Queen's Blade.
Is that what's called?
Which
Queen's
is
Blood.
I was gonna say Queen's Gambit, but I think that's
We're all thinking like everything else.
But you know, Queen's Blood was probably the most fun I had in that goofy game because that game was.
It was
Too
the
much
better
of
of the side quest nonsense to do in that game.
So number one game of this year, shocked to nobody because it came out this year. I probably enjoyed it most, even more since I played it literally this morning. Zenless Zone Zero.
Oh, it did
Oh.
make the list.
One of them has to. They have to. He spends too much time talking about him.
You know, it is funny because, you know, for one, it's not unlike Star Rail, which is more like an RPG. You know, it's more like, you know, make a turn. You know, you kind of like, you could literally let the game play for yourself pretty much. This one requires you actually to play the levels. You know, you actually have to pay attention. It's more unique about the combat because it's a lot like kind of like Devil May Cry-ish kind of gameplay because, you know, you have to switch back and forth, and it's not like, you know, how fast you get style points, but you get that's supposed to do your ultimate attack, so it requires you how well you combo, I guess, pretty much.
Keep the string going.
And the fact that I think for the most part, I think the fact in this world all the characters they're all in the same place because they're all in the same world per se. Well, like, you know, like in Star Rail, you know, you go to different planets. You know, like they're from this planet for this planet. You know, it's the fact they're all in one place. You know, it makes sense they all see each other every day, or things like all in the same.
You understand
area.
you get the environment more. Feels more real, I guess.
And I do the fact like a lot of there are a lot more. The characters are able to be more emotional, I guess, and more like, you know, they're because the way how these animation art is more kind of like a One Piece is. No, not One Piece, but but it's very cartoony per se.
I'm gonna try. You don't have to say one.
You know, because
it's kind of like Maple Story.
You know, but you know, the characters are able to move more, like, you know, they're able to bend and kind of more like the cutscenes are more fluid, I guess, per se, or they do more animation quality per se.
Gotcha.
The fact that you're watching, you know, their story and how, like, you know, slowly bit by bit you're learning more about their backstory and why they keep doing what they're trying to do, and how the world works in this world in which, you know, pretty much everything's kind of screwed but not screwed in the same way. And I said, like, and the fact that, you know, you can I guess pull wise it's friendlier for me than what Star Rail is. You know, it's a little more lenient into the way how the pulls work.
Oh,
but, you know, overall, you know, I enjoy it the most because the fact that, you know, even though I'm more invested in the story than I am with the Star Rail and everything else, I guess at this point, we're all just trying to survive the world that we're in, you know. So that's why it's number one.
The best pulls, and that's why it wins. I'm feeling better about my Call of Duty addiction. That's all I know. That's all I know. All right, Andy, it's up to you. What's
I gotta talk after the podcast about that. I need some
the real
tips.
podcast begins after.
I need some tips.
Tips and tricks. All righty, Andy, back to you. What is it going to be? The best game of the year?
Well, the best game of the year.
Wait. Honorable mentions.
All right, honorable mentions. Do you have any honorable mentions,
I was thinking
Andy?
about that, and I don't really. I was like,
there is no honor.
Well, I was like,
not worth mentioning.
I was like thinking with Zelda was, you know, Echoes of Wisdom, but I was like slagging it. I mean, I guess it would be an honorable. I mean, honestly, yeah, that is an honorable mention.
Well, there we go. We squeezed it out of him.
But it's more like
Dishonorable
6.
mention.
It's just like if it was like top 6, I'd be like, yeah, I put that at 6.
Okay, well,
I guess.
that'll work. That'll work.
So I'll say that is honorable mention. What else is there to say? It kind of let me down, but it was interesting and it tried something different and it did a okay job. And that's my
the quick review.
That's my I mean, I don't know what else to say. But my number one is a game that actually came out in 2016. And I just, you know, I'm a sucker for the cute stuff, but also the ultra violence. So I played Doom 2016 this year. And yeah, that was the one. I think I talked about it earlier this year, but that one I think I mentioned before. It's just I really liked how it took the old, like, you know, it was like the reboot of Doom. Essentially, it's like we're taking this is the first of the new Doom series, and I
Right.
think they're still continuing it. I think
I believe so.
the series is ongoing. So
the next one will be the Dark Ages. It comes
yeah,
out
that's
next year.
3, I think, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, so
Should be.
yeah, I really liked it. It's, you know, it's pretty much a straightforward like shooter in the sense that it's just like it's what you'd exactly expect from a Doom game. You're a guy that goes to like Mars and you blow crazy monsters up with big guns and their guts go everywhere, and you can upgrade the abilities, and then like you know, it's like certain guns can do certain things, and you're like, oh, what kind of gun? You know, I want to like have the crazy cannon that like instantly blows up everything, but it takes forever to reload. That sort of thing. You know, you get the BFG that is like the crazy.
Gotta have it.
You gotta have the BFG.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, it does everything that a normal Doom game was. Get the big key, go through the big blue key, gets you through big blue door, etc.
Makes sense.
But you know, it's all ultra gritty, kind of a different sort of take on it. It had an interesting story, and I didn't realize it was gonna like. I didn't realize it was like gonna be a cliffhanger, because I was like, oh, like this is gonna be a long-winded thing. But I really liked it. It was a great. I had a blast with it. It was a good like difficulty level. Nice challenges, fun secrets. Very satisfying to explore, to be just like beef up your character and just like get really powerful. And I'm trying to think of what else to say about it. I mean, it's just very satisfying. The ending was really cool. Like, really, you know how any game you finally like get to the end and you're like, it's like asking you to do everything, like take advantage of all your abilities.
Right.
Really testing what you've learned in the game. I mean, I was gonna talk about the sequel. I haven't played the sequel, but I know that it's like kind of like a pretty different game. And now I'm like, I kind of feel, just because I liked it so much, I kind of want to try to get into it. Just be like, oh, like maybe this will be like a game series I can follow through the years. But I've heard that the second one is quite different, and it's like, oh, like I don't know if I want it to be that different.
Oh, too different.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I've heard mixed things in terms of like, not that it's bad, but it's like, yeah, like a different game almost. But yeah, I guess that's, not, you know, I'm not really singing its praises too well for being number one, but I don't know, it really stuck with me, and I just remember like, it wasn't like I never like reached addiction level where it's like, I gotta stop. I was always like, this is fun. I like this. I like this game a lot.
What day is it? What year is it?
No, none of that. Yeah, I was just...
Wait,
that was like Vampire Survivors. That was like, I was like, what? 5 hours later, huh?
Yeah,
like, my God.
It's
Dinner's cold.
It's like nighttime.
Everyone's gone to bed.
It's nighttime, and you're like, okay, I'm done for the day.
Yeah.
Gets up in the morning.
Well, honestly, I was kind of like flip-flopping between like Vampire Survivors being one and Doom being one, and I like, when I was like doing it, I was kind of like, should I have made Vampire Survivors 1? But I think there's just more game. I don't know. You know, I guess Doom is just more like a game.
Right, it's a game.
Whereas like Vampire Survivors is kind of arcadey, not to besmirch it or anything,
right.
but it's just a little more drop, pick up and drop.
Well,
whereas like Doom
it's like Balatro. It's a lot of you can
yeah,
stop and
like,
go.
oh, I died, and then like, oh, but I know I could get further. But you know, that's Vampire Survivors. But yeah, Doom 2016.
Doom 2016.
Yeah, that's it. That was numero uno for me. It was great. It was very, very fun.
Great.
Great. It was great. It brought the Scottish out in me. It turned me Scottish this
Are you
game.
gonna go after Scrooge McDuck after this or what?
My number 9.
Yeah, not the number one dime. Alrighty, Frank. It's finally your turn, my friend. But if this time, do we have any honorable mentions before we get to
there
it?
is honor to
There is honor. We found honor out there in 2024. What is your honor this year, Frank?
Okay, so first one, Zelda.
All right.
Echoes of Wisdom. I think it has honor. We've already said enough about it.
Yep.
Fair enough.
Next one is Ninja Turtles.
Oh, that looks fun.
Which one? The new one?
The
or the collection?
The beat 'em up,
new
right?
one, the new one.
Oh, the new one. Okay.
The new one. It's fun, but a bit too short, bit too easy, but fun. The other one, I didn't put it in the list because I wasn't sure when I started it, but I definitely finished it this year. River City Girls 2.
I think you mentioned that.
Yeah, I remember that earlier the year.
Yeah, I thought I had finished it, and then like my brother,
Secret Boss?
my brother and niece were playing. I'm like, wait,
There's
we
more?
didn't finish it.
It's like the fable from last episode.
And
There's more?
yeah, and
Christmas and New Year's keep delivering.
and then now I found out that the Double Dragon people are gonna come out soon.
Dang.
Anyways, that's another
Tis the
honorable
season.
mention. And that's it. That's it.
Alrighty.
And like Hades, this is another. What's worse than crack?
Meth?
That'd be my guess.
This is
Blue
Heroin? Or I
Blue
don't know.
Math?
Blue. I don't know. We gotta watch that show again.
Yeah, right.
I know. Right?
Well, similar to Miles, it's Genshin Impact.
Yes.
Hesitant to put it because I didn't technically start it this year, but new updates came out and I think they're pretty good.
It's where most of your hours of 2024 went, probably.
Yeah. It's been Genshin Impact, and then I take a break, play Hades, and it's just that.
Just flip flopping. Back and forth.
Literally for like the past few months, it's been that, and I'm like, well, if it's taking up so much of my time, I gotta put it there.
Right. I feel
I'm
like there's
scared-
there has to be something.
I'm scared to ask this. Do you know how many hours you played in Genshin Impact?
It doesn't say hours, but I could look at the
Days, years, months,
and where was it?
lifespans.
It says 415 days active.
Okay, active. That's been nice.
And when I started,
Oh no.
I remember I hadn't played like in 2 years.
Mhm.
It said like 300. So since that time, I've played 100 days.
So 100. Okay.
Well,
I think I'm only missed 2 days though.
And I was gonna say you sounds like you play this almost every day.
Yeah, I've only.
And how many hours a day would you say? We could do the math here. We could figure this out.
Well, you know what? Most probably for like a month, I only logged in, did the dailies, and that's it.
And how long that would take you? Like an hour, 2 hours?
No, that takes like
30 minutes.
no, maybe less than 10 minutes.
Oh, so real quick. Oh, okay.
yeah, especially if you know what you need to get farm and things
You
like
can do it real
it'd
quick.
be Fast.
But when I do play it a lot, and I did play it a lot once I started, and then recently, like
Picked up
this week, I've played a lot. I play like all day, like
the whole day.
yeah, like I wake up when the first
I'm too busy trying to do the math in my head, trying to guess.
Don't think of the map in your head. You're not gonna like it.
for example, the first NFL game starts at 10 a.m.
True.
So that's when I wake up and I start playing it.
Football and Genshin time.
The last NFL game ends like 8 p.m. That's when I stop playing. Yeah, so that's
Okay. So a lot. I think it's safe to say a lot.
Frank, here's a crown. You win.
the only reason I stopped playing is because I gotta sleep,
Stupid body.
go to work,
Stupid bills.
and the coaching. That's it. If not those things, I'm playing.
See, what you do is you bring your iPad and you go while you're coaching. You can play Genshin while you're coaching.
No, I don't do that.
Not
I
yet.
mean, I have to probably teach one of my players to play while I'm.
All right. I need you to play though. I need you to grind this for me until I come.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, we need to shower. We take a shower.
We do?
Gotta eat.
Yeah. I usually put on like a Genshin video so that I'm listening while I'm.
Yeah.
I'm like, what
That's
artifacts?
hardcore.
All right, you know what?
You gotta keep up with his constant updates. Gotta know what's happening
That
new.
makes me feel bad. I feel like I didn't put enough work.
Just dropping the ball over there, Miles.
I thought
We got a real gamer out here.
it's like one of those like student master things, right?
There you go.
Well, you know how you have to work too.
Yeah, you know that dark thing you have to
Do you
work.
have to though?
Well, something's got to pay
See,
for the waifus.
You see, Frank. Here's how you win it. So you build a PC.
Oh,
And you can stream playing Genshin,
There
and
you
you
go.
make money that way.
I gotta
that's
get on
true.
that.
They'll
Yeah.
pay for your pulls, Frank.
I don't know, but
You even get free pulls.
There you go. Just for streaming it.
we'll see. I just
Let's feed that addiction.
what was the other thing I was gonna say? And I just like all the small little details where they tell you like, oh look, this person's wearing this cape, and then you see it, and it's just so dumb. Like I don't know why I like.
Quite the hole to fall into.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's see. Like I said, I'm not there yet. No,
Soon.
So,
Give it time.
Yeah, just get a water.
I missed a lot of characters in that game, so I don't even know where to even start.
But you know what? Just start, and like I think the cool thing about the new region is that you don't have to be there. You could just skip right to it.
Oh,
And so far it hasn't really affected me at all. Like
uh-huh.
I don't really feel like, oh my god, I missed the whole other region.
Mhm.
It's just, to be honest, I don't know what happened before, but I feel like for sure this is the best one that they've done, because it's pretty cool story. Because
Yeah.
right now, I mean, they could probably ruin it if they just end it wrong, but it's all leading to where like something big should happen.
All right, well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Our favorite games of 2024. And I guess if someone's doing the math, which I guess I'm doing, apparently Hades wins best game of the year in 2024.
Yeah,
That
I
fresh,
guess
fresh, hot game of 2024, Hades.
But that sounds like right for this podcast, isn't it?
Yeah. Huh?
Or
Well,
Zelda.
Or
Made both your
Zelda would. I think Zelda would probably be second place.
because that was two
I think-
honorables.
Yeah,
and
2
one.
honorables and 2 placements.
Well, yeah, then I get. I don't know.
Well,
I don't
because
know.
in my head it feels like, whatever you place number 5 gets a point, right? And then vice versa, right?
Oh, that's smart. That's true. That's true.
So technically,
and then what honorable mention gets like half a point or no point?
yeah, I
or-
guess you'd have to.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. We never-
The rules are what we say it are.
right.
Yeah,
I'm
that's true.
trying to think. What was another thing that we cross-referenced that would be a third game of the year? Maybe
Yeah.
Rebirth, I guess, would probably be a third.
Rebirth probably
yeah,
Because
yeah,
it was a
Honorable-
Frank's last, and then both me and Miles' honorable mention. So let's say Rebirth kicks third slot.
Yay, bronze.
So there you go. There's your 3 best games of 2024. One of them at least came out this year, so that's something. Zelda 2, so 2.
Yeah,
There you go.
yeah,
we
that's- That's true. That's true.
we didn't totally phone it in today, gentlemen. So that's good.
To next year, we'll play another game from 2020.
Let's see what
2013.
Super Nintendo games make the list next time for Andy. He's only mentioned Super Mario World 2. There's still one out there.
I've already played that though.
There's like Super Mario All Stars that has like multiple games.
okay.
Well, you never know. Chrono Trigger. Wait till he sees Chrono Trigger. He's gonna blow his mind. Final Fantasy still hasn't been talked about.
That's true. That's true.
Gotta stay tuned, see what happens in 2025. It'll be an exciting, big, crazy year. And hopefully I'll be playing more than fucking 10 games in the whole year. Yikes.
11 games.
Yeah, I'll take that as a step in the right direction. But yeah, so that will pretty much conclude our conversation this week on Taku Otaku. But of course, I got to sell the next episode. Next time, we're going to be doing our winter review of, I guess, 2023 anime season. We'll be talking about Ranma 1/2 or Ranma. I always say Ranma 1/2. It's Ranma 1/2. There's no an extra A.
I don't know. It means the way how people say it, I guess.
I know, right? And I always catch myself. I thought it was Ranma for a long time. But anyway, so we have that. Mechanical Arms and Acro Trip.
Now
Now I mind tricked you. See, someone's watched the YouTube video. Good. My mistake is now your mistake. Good,
Wait.
good. Now I'm changing history. That's my power as a YouTuber. I could just bend the will of reality to my will. And when I spell it, we'll take over the
All right, now put down the reality stone and move on.
Yes. We'll be talking about those next time on the podcast. And then of course around the corner probably going to be previewing another new season of anime that's also going to come out this year in 2025. But yes, that'll conclude this time. And once again, if I didn't say it earlier, but I think I did, but I'll say it again just in case you missed it that first time. We wish you all a happy New Year's, and hopefully your anime and gaming hours will be very stacked in 2025, and you'll play all the things you want, and hopefully you got some new recommendations. But of course, before I sign out, I have to thank everyone. Thank you, Frank, for sharing your selection this year and your addiction, apparently.
Yeah. I'll be more organized about my addictions next time.
He did say he's going to cut back. Just
I
organize.
gotta organize it that way. Certain addictions get more priority than others.
Make sure everybody gets the love they deserve. I'll write it down.
There you go. Got to have notes. Miles, brother, thank you. Sounds like you already sold Andy and a couple new picks this year. So
Yeah.
And me.
I did.
There you go.
I put it.
you did.
I like you to know that so far
A man of the people.
of this year, this is the most winningest year I had this year. I can't wait for it to go downhill.
There you go. And of course, Andy, once again, thank you for reemerging from your
Of course.
your hut, your Jabba the Hutt. I don't know.
Jabba's castle.
Yeah, there you go. On Tatooine, enjoying this.
Whatever.
Oh, Star Wars, gotta love it. And with that, we thank you for hanging out with us and hope next time. Until then, have a good one, people, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye.